scoring game, does it?
Used to kick that in the afternoon, Jay.
And the good news for Port is Carlton are trying to take the game on more over the last couple of weeks. That could provide some opportunities for them.
He's not going to miss anything, Johnny Bargo. He's nearly down on the ground with those.
Checking the ships coming in through Port Phillip Bay.
He'll be able to see them changing their minds, at least. Murphy gets the quick kick out of the middle. We're underway here at the MCG. Trengove back into the lineup this week. Goes back with the flight. Cracker. It'll bounce across defence. Heads wide. Wingard on cue.
That hurts.
Wins a good, tough early ball.
What was that for?
He doesn't want to give it away, Robbie Gray. It's okay to come in and fly the flag, but if you do anything silly, you'll cost your team a possession, a 50-metre penalty, an opportunity to score.
That takes the wind out of yourselves. Great mark by Wingard.
Was it 50, boys?
No, I don't know about that.
Just an overzealous attempt to spoil, but it was in the process of spoiling.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter now, Dwayne. I did have a chat to the umpiring authorities, and Wayne Campbell, and said if it's not a genuine spoiling attempt and it's an aggressive contact, they will pay 50.
So he was intending to go for ear.
I think so.
Okay, Bell pumps it forward. No one's home for the Blues at the moment, but the bounce was kind to Arnfield. Waited, got it, gang tackled, holds it up, and they can reset.
The deck looks a little bit soft out there, Jason. I know that State of Origin here the other night.
Yeah,
Look at this mark.
Oh, gee.
It does pull him down a little bit.
It smashed him in the side of the head. But you're right, State of Origin during the week, a little bit of mud on the ground, so players need to be wary of their footing.
So Port Adelaide get the ball rolling now through Ollie Wines, who's been great, out to Cracker. Cracker looks inside 50. It's a beautiful kick, a magnificent kick. And Westhoff, all he had to do was turn around and the ball was on his chest.
No, it was the kick that made Westhoff turn around. A really clever kick from Cracker. All the Port players were running back towards goal, but the Carlton players all were goal side. So he just kicked it short, made Westhoff turn around. He knew he'd get there first.
That's why you have your best kicks across half-back. 90% of blokes would have blazed away and just put it to the Carlton defenders.
So Justin Westhoff comes in for the first score of the afternoon, and Port Adelaide like what they see. It's a major. Well done, Cracker. Well done, Westhoff.
That kick inside 50 is just such an important kick. We talk about goal kicking in itself, but the kick inside 50 sets him up, and that's a good confidence booster for Westhoff, because he has not had the season he would have liked. Some people would have thought that the Ryder trade might have freed him up and he might have been able to play a bit of a different role, but just hasn't quite worked for him this year. He's only kicked 10 goals. He hasn't found more possessions up in the midfield. He'll be hoping he improves in the second half of the year.
I think we just heard the umpire talking to the Carlton player as well, maybe to Sam Doggett, saying, well, you hit him in the face. That's why I gave the 50-metre penalty.
It's fair enough too.
From the restart, Cruiser, second game back. Couldn't find his boot with it.
Good tackle.
Boat caught by Cripps.
Looks like Carazzo's going to Robbie Gray too, boys. Boak might be with Murphy.
That'll be a good head-to-head if that evolves. Wingard quick on the loose Sharon, gave to Broadbent, to Hartland half forward, and gets a kind bounce back. Little fumble, Pittard, goes back, gets it, caught, turnover to him. Murphy. Got Casbolt, but he bounces it to him. Cracker. The big impact early, and that's a beautiful release kick. Loby's got the run at Trengove. He's got Schultz on a hard lead all the way to half forward. Monfries is wide if he wants it. He's got Westhoff longer. Westhoff's in form at the moment. Tries to tow it away, does Westhoff. White tunnels it out. Simpson, half a throw. Colhoun, Monfries, Schultz, Wingard.
Oh, it's clean, isn't he? Two very clean overhead marks. Well, one of the best small forwards in the comp.
I think he feels like he's getting a bit of treatment at the moment. I don't think there was anything untoward there. Dylan Buckley really trying to get there a little bit late, but certainly nothing malicious. But
we saw Dylan's father, Jim Buckley, out there presenting the footballs before the game. Joseph, if it had been his old man, it might have been a bit more untoward.
Would have knocked his head off.
Three-time premiership star with the Blues. Part of their pre-game entertainment.
And a gun player.
Good work there, Jimmy.
Been all Port Adelaide since then, and Wingard salutes. 2-goal start to the power.
It's not the sort of start that the Blues wanted. They can't get their hands on the footy. 21 possessions to 6, 3 inside 50s to 0. It's a bad fumble from Kade Simpson. They had an opportunity to mop it up, the Blues. If they fumble, well, they're going to get pressured and they could inevitably get hurt, and that's what happened then. You just see Wingard reacting to the contact.
Just a bit interesting to see what effect the bye has on a couple of sides. We thought Richmond might have been fresher last night and Carlton today. There's some all-Australian figures, boys, for Chad Wingard comparing 2013 to 15. He's pretty similar. He's back in some form and he's kicked 22 goals. So if he gets up to the 40s, he'll be hard to knock out.
Good tap from Cruiser, and Murphy got underneath it. So this will be the 7th disposal for Carlton to 21 to Port Adelaide. The ball goes into the forward 50. They need to get a goal here. That's almost holding the man. Umpire said play on, and too high. Free kick to Henderson.
That's sloppy, Jace.
Yeah, that is. I mean, we know there's new interpretations on the rules, but you've still got to put your head down to pick up the ball, and he nearly had it ripped off like Henderson. So an opportunity here to kick a settler that the Blues desperately need.
Have a look at this. That's just sloppy.
Poor from Trengove.
Jonas, I think it more to mean, Jace.
Yep. Apologies.
So Henderson lines up, 40 metres out. A bit better than 45 degrees. This should be a bread and butter shot at goal for a full forward. So in comes Henderson. Kick is on its way, and he has put it through. They needed that, the Blues, and they got it through Henderson.
Well, take your opportunities, don't you, when you're a forward with your market, or you get a free kick, you put your head over the ball, and that's the advantage of being first in line. But that would just really annoy everyone at Port Adelaide. It annoyed Tommy Jonas as well, and just giving opportunities to the opposition like that are just unnecessary. But it's done with now. He's got to make up for it.
Been a bit of talk about Lachie Henderson's future in the last few weeks, where he'll be next year, but of course the immediate future, hopefully for John Barker, is that he'll have a massive influence this afternoon. To talk about John Barker's future as well. He needs a win or two, you'd think, to be a contender for the job before the year's out. And this is a huge chance for them this afternoon. Pittard knocked it down, Wine squeezed it out, Impey, Broadbent, Slick, Boak, and cutting it off Simpson. And he was nearly the big thorn in the side. And they almost knocked off the Adelaide Crows in their last game, the Blues. Buckley runs the full 25, really.
Yep.
You got a good measure to half forward. Bad play on. Henderson's time to go.
That has to be a mark.
It was a mark.
He thought he had enough of it, Cripps. He just goes for home. How will this bounce? Numbers back there. Carlisle knocks it to the line, and Lobie clever enough to
Take
take
a
it.
look at Lachie Henderson here. Does he get the first touch on the ball? Well, it's simultaneous, isn't it? More often than not, I think you'd see that paid, but
Yeah.
Used to be called a pack mark once upon a time, didn't it, Josh? Anyway, so they bounce off half back. Port Adelaide to Westhoff. Sits in the air a little bit, and Rowe makes him earn his kick. Westhoff around the body. Nice little kick towards Pittard. It's in front of him. Does it well. Just slams it on the boot. Gets a little bit of distance, a bit of yardage as White goes to the boundary line. It was as deliberate as you like, but it doesn't matter. It's a throw in. So Port Adelaide by 5 points.
Huge amount of numbers at this stoppage.
Wood doing the ruck work against Lobie. Lobie gets front spot, taps it to the back. Good play, well read. Ball flicks out. Curnow does it well. Now Cripps from Murphy's handball, which was a good one. Over the top to Armfield. Next one is in.
He ducked.
Ducked
That's
his
a good
head. He's
decision.
gone.
Second one was high.
Wow.
Interesting one.
It's a ball up, if nothing else, wasn't it?
I'm trying to work out what the second one was. I thought it was all the one tackle.
Yeah. Anyway, we won't get into the minutia of the umpiring just yet.
He was very clear with his explanation, though, the umpire. So you can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, he was definite. He was definitely wrong. But anyway, we'll keep going. Yarra gets the handball going to Cripps. Cripps now is 65. He's a beautiful kick. That one is laced out, but good defence from the Port Adelaide players there. It was great play there by Omsch. Now a chance for Colquhoun. Looks up. Just measures the kick. That was good play. Nice measured kick, and then runs to get the give and get, and he gets it too from Jonas. Now Calhoun looks to the centre of the ground. Oh, he needs to be good with the kick here, and he is, and Gray is equal to the task. Good play. They're taking them on. Ken Hinkley said that's what he wants, his team to take them on today, and Mitchell bombs it up to looking for Monfries there at the fall of the ball. Good play by Gibbs. Gets the handball going. Carlton got the numbers here, and they can get it out of their defensive 50.
Pretty good contest so far. Curnow, he's got Murphy free. Murphy can run.
Henderson's on.
So they've caught Port Adelaide on the rebound. Doesn't hit Cripps. Honchlay's a tackle. Yaron saves the day. Back in, knows he owes them, and he runs on for the 1-2. Henderson decided not to flick it back to him. Cruiser leads short. Casbolt longer lead. Oh, good fist in the end. Broadbent just got a knuckle in there. Mitchell had an awesome game in the SANFL last week for the Magpies, and he's providing some good run from half back here early. Kick not so good. Simpson sits under and cuts it off.
That's his knock, Mitchell. We might get plenty of it, but he can't burn it.
So Buckley again bouncing off that half-back line he showed plenty a fortnight ago. This bloke was sensational, Simpson, and the kick is a beauty. Now a big chance for Carlton. Everett at half forward flank, kicks it inside 50. Casboll's been pushed his man in the back. Didn't matter because Broadbent was good enough to keep control. I think the umpire paid advantage without paying advantage, if you know what I mean. Just let it go.
Right there, Andrew. No closer.
So
They usually pay advantage when they don't need to sometimes.
Hartlett at half-back looks to switch direction. It's a beautiful kick to get it going here. Calhoun has been busy. Cracker has been fantastic. He's had 3 possessions. His 2 kicks were worth 10 early on. Carlisle brings the ball out to the halfback flank position. Just sits up nicely there for Moore. Will chip up the wing. Needs to be good here.
Clever.
Nice play. Great stuff there by Impey. And took the hit, got his kick away, but Carlton can rebound.
Doherty flicked up the handball. Gibbs, Curnow, Graham, and Simpson. Nice to see he had to shield his eyes from the sun. The sun is out.
Umpire's called play on because he's moved off the mark and no one's heard it.
Okay.
And he couldn't play on because there was just no one out that side for the Blues. That's the problem.
So he could have gone back to Tui.
He's poured a lot of time and still no one's presented. That's poor.
And Blake takes the mark and they're off and running again. Cracker to set it all up. Also back into the lineup this week. Cracker, even a horrible fumble. Perfect for the Blues. Bell, they've got the spare men running. White.
Got him.
Everett. Now Cruz is inside 50. Running back towards goal. Henderson's inside 50. Also running back towards goal. Pittard stands in the hole. They all go up. Stolen. Graham kicks around the body. And the Blues are in front.
Well, he might not need wins, Barker, but what he does need is the Carlton players playing good attacking football and having a real honest go, and they certainly have done that since the 5-minute mark of this first quarter. But Brad Ebert, I mean, he's had a pretty good year, Brad, but he knew what he was, or thinking about what he was doing before he actually got the ball there. That's the second.
Spent it before he had.
Yeah, the second goal that Port Adelaide have given Carlton now from mistakes after Tom Jonas did it earlier.
13 minutes into the first quarter and Carlton hit the front. Blues by a point. Cameron Wood ready to go. So Lobie jumps up as well. Ball hits the ground. Bloke has been fantastic all season. Says, hang on about that. Thrown to the ground after I hit it. That was a bit rough. So Cam Wood goes again. Second man up there, or third man up if you like, was Moore, but Carlton get this break and races on. Carlton have the numbers, but good enough there. There's Jonas. It's turned over again. No, Carlton's pressure's been fantastic. Karate gets it going. It comes back to Murphy, who was so wonderful 2 weeks ago. He kicks the ball beautifully into the position. Up goes Everett. Can he go on? No, he's going to go back and have a kick from 55. He winds up. Cruiser leads. He decides to go long and strong. Cruiser's going to have to beat a few here, and it's easy to punch through from there. He just overcooked the kick. It needed to be 10 metres shorter, didn't it, Jace?
There was a nothing kick in the end. It wasn't a shot. It wasn't a kick to the lead. It was a half and half that didn't help the Blues at all.
Quick kick into Andrew Moore, also back into Port Adelaide's lineup.
Shouldn't happen
This
those
week.
kicks, Jace. They should be fixed up by the forward coach during the week and made very clear.
I was actually happy that he didn't rush it early on. It looked like he wanted to play on, and I thought he was just going to wait, look for the right lead. There was plenty of space there. And in the end, he wandered off and kicked it aimlessly.
Turnover in the middle. Cripps gets on the end of it. Port Adelaide tried to take it on through the corridor. Didn't work. Wood. He thumps it. Henderson, Homsch. Homsch just edges him under it nicely. Allowed Port players to feed back on it. And here's one player that's having an outstanding season again, Homsch.
He's been exceptional. I think there's a few people that will tell you he's nearly leading Port Adelaide's best and fairest, and he's got the speed that's troubling Henderson on the lead as well.
So Wood and Cruiser do well there. Carato ran the body to the goal square, but they've got the player back, and Carlisle marks it right on the line for Port Adelaide. So Homsch, that man in question, kicks into Everett. Wrap him up, they let you down every time, boys. And that is no attempt whatsoever. That's gone.
No effort.
And Jonas coughs up another one, and Carlton will have a shot of goal.
There's two errors there. I mean, Homsch had options. He had the hand pass over the top to Jonas. He ignored him, and he had his kick smothered. And then Jonas made absolutely no effort. He gave the umpire no out there. He had to ping him.
Well, he didn't have prior opportunity, did he? But he made no effort.
He's got to make an effort.
Yeah, no, I know.
And he just allowed himself to be ragdolled. Look,
if he made effort, he would have been a ball up.
This time Everett doesn't have to worry about anything other than kicking straight. From 35 metres out off 2 steps, he comes in and puts it right through. Carlton have kicked the last 3.
well, there's a similar story here. Port Adelaide, apart from a couple of glimpses, Roo, they haven't played good football this year. Carlton are onto that. All of a sudden, Carlton have got a bit of belief because they're not getting beaten up by a better side. They're making as many mistakes as the Blues are, and they're getting opportunities to score.
Well, we spoke about before the game. Carlton, where are they going to get their goals from? Well, all 3. I mean, that was a good tackle, but Jonas has made 2 mistakes, and Ebert has made the other, and Carlton have got 3 goals as a result of it.
This is Port's one and only game at the MCG this season, unless, of course, they play finals. And right now, they are not on track to play finals. And they're not finding it all that easy out there. In fact, they've lost their last 3 games here at the G, including that final by a kick last year against the Hawks. Gray plays on towards Schultz, half forward row, knocks it down to Curnow. Shrugs a tackle, Murphy. And the Blues up and running. Poor kick though. Broadbent running, kicks to Ebert, and he owes them one.
See, that's a couple of poor kicks already from Mark Murphy. He normally uses the ball so well. He worked back, he got the hand pass in defence, looked to set up the rebound. Just hit a Port Adelaide player on the run. Now he's a little bit ginger after attempting that spoil.
Dropped the mark for the turnover earlier. He's coming off a 28 possession game last week, the most for Port. He is normally reliable, not here.
So I've got one team coming off the bye and one going into it. They're just a little bit off their tuck at Port Adelaide at the moment, aren't they? They started so well, but in the possession counts, which Jason made mention of, it's now 56 to 64. So Carlton have dominated the last 5 to 7 minutes of this quarter. Doherty's kick right on the boundary line, was it? Yep, throw in.
Just seeing both teams at different stages have trouble hitting targets. That's what's separating the good sides from the others. The ability to hit those targets.
Jace, you can see down here on ground level from a Port point of view, they started brave, they went through the middle of the ground. There was just a few poor kicks going inside 50 and a couple of poor decisions. All of a sudden, they've just gone back into their shell. Their confidence has dropped very quickly down here at ground level.
Yeah, you're right, Moons, and it's strange because they were so good last year. You thought they would build on it this year.
So Pittard gets the ball after a good chain of handballs from the Port Adelaide side. It comes out to Hartlett, too far out to score. He's 60 out, just chips inside 50, looks for a man and finds it. And that was good play by Hartlett, just held the ball up well. So the captain boat goes to the pocket, just off one step. It's bounced off the foot of Gray, overline out of bounds.
Must have hit the line. Must have hit the line, I think.
So you don't see Travis Boak miss kicks like that too often. I mean, he was going backwards, he kicked off one step. Let's have a look.
So it's off the foot, but it bounces. Oh, no, that's out the full.
Did it go from his foot to Robbie Gray's hand, maybe?
Nah, it was out the full. That's a nil or goal. It's a blue. We'll mark it in as a blue and we'll move on.
But again, he made a positive decision. He was in good position.
Mitchell, in the meantime, kicks it behind.
Yeah, not reviewable. Disappointingly. Give it time. We'll go to replays for things like that, surely. Everett, about 15 years' time and everything's replayed.
Sam,
Simpson.
Thank you.
Dominated early against Adelaide until shut down. And he turns it over here to Hobbs. Mitchell standing in the middle. Boat goes up. Good effort, Doherty. Yaron just squeezed the kick away. Murphy stands under it. Colquhoun tries to pick his pocket. Murphy got a handball out. Colquhoun, just his second game for the year, is giving it everything. Dives in and holds it up.
He did well to stand under that one, Mark Murphy. He was a sitting shot, but he stood tall. Didn't take the mark, was able to bring it to the ground and wasn't outmarked.
7 possessions for young Sam Colquhoun. He's playing really well. This bloke Cripps has got some talent, and that's almost in the back.
Colquhoun's a player that was really going to benefit from the Kane Corns retirement too, boys. Coming back from a reconstruction in the knee last year.
Wines in traffic. Great play there by Armfield. Just knocked it out of his hands. It was good awareness. In goes Gibbs. Gets up, finds a bit of space, kicks it out, but it's coming straight back. And Cracker is the man who's been magnificent by foot so far today, and that is no exception. Have a look at that. Talk about finding the right spot to kick and then executing it. Cracker has been magnificent.
And Brad Ebert gets another opportunity now after a poor miss before.
Eddie Cracker's had 5 kicks going at 100%.
And not little toe pokes either. They have been ripping kicks into the forward 50. Ebert has spilt one which ended up in a turnover and then hit the post from very kickable distance. This time he gets it right. He kicks the goal and scores, and are locked up at 20 apiece.
Well, he's had a pretty good year, Brad Ebert. Had a couple of ordinary moments today, but expect him to back up and make amends for it. Great kick here by Cracker. And a pretty courageous mark going back into the forward 50. Good story, Cracker. We've heard it enough this year, but great bit of recruiting by Port Adelaide to get him back in the club.
Is that all right, Robbie?
Yeah, spot on, Roo. Cracker Mark 2 might be better than Cracker Mark 1. 8th game this year in his return, Nathan Cracker. And a big influence early here. Scores level, good contest. Trengo in the ruck, Graham. Well, a clearance of sorts, but he went backwards to go forward. Gibbs does get it forward. Pittard, the pick-off man. And the quick play on. So back to their trademark.
Great kick.
Broadbent to Hartlett. Mitchell. Well, can he spend it wisely this time? Wasted a few. Robbie Gray, Yaron. Yaron wins. Takes it to the line.
Be interesting to know the record, Dwayne, for between what the player had to lose the most in terms of weight. Stewie Dew when he came back to Hawthorn that year, or Nathan Cracker. He was 105 kilos, Cracker, when they got him back to the club.
Don't forget his diet, I reckon. Ollie Wines, here's a chance. Ollie Wines chips it across the goal front. That was beautiful. And Robbie Gray's mark was just as good.
I'll set him up. You come on your mark and I'll over.
It's just good to see Ollie Wines there didn't sort of do the old-fashioned feign to look for somebody and have a shot. He actually genuinely wanted to find a teammate there.
Just hold until it's
So Robbie Gray doing the Gaelic football-style kick. Runs around now, around the body. Beautiful goal. Well thought out.
Two opportunities at both ends. It's just a matter of who's going to take them. It was a clever kick. I like the idea of coming back into the corridor. It's just playing the percentages. I mean, he's not going to kick that too many times from that position. Even if Gray doesn't mark the ball's alive. It's in a dangerous position. But you back your teammates. He's a quality player, Robbie Gray. And if you kick it to his advantage, he probably will take it and kick the goal for him. That's exactly what happened.
Guys coming straight back. Rucks in only. Thanks, fellas. Rucks in only.
Seesawing contest. Port Adelaide the first 2 goals of the game. Carlton then the next 3. And now Port Adelaide the last 2 again. Lobe back in the ruck. Cruiser lets him go at it and Palmer straight down to Hartlett. Didn't go at body or ball then Cruiser. Pittard. Schultz, can he get the jump? He's bumped out of it. Still makes a contest. Gray lurking. Starting to find the Sharon again. Harlett loads up from 40, sprays it.
A good bit of footy there by Hamish Hartlett, getting in the centre clearance and following it up and having a shot on goal.
He's looking dangerous, isn't he, Roo? Hartlett?
Yeah, he hasn't had a good year, Hamish, and he knows that, so he's going to try and work his way into a bit of form.
He's had 7 touches so far. Make that 8. So no disposal, but he's got his hand on the ball and has held it up, which is as good as a kick sometimes. So in the forward 50 or thereabouts, getting near it anyway for the Port Adelaide side, just outside forward 50, inside the half-forward flank position. Cruiser gets the front spot. Murphy gets the handball over the top. Doggett, been very good today so far for Carlton with his intercepts. The handball is towards the boundary line. We'll have another throw in. So the umpire's yelling out plenty of instructions out there today. So Cruiser, the man who Nick Malthouse said would be his recruit of the year, and he's been ripping so far in his game back in this opening quarter.
Unfortunately for Mick Malthouse, a couple of games too late.
Too late, she cried. Tui. John Barker has told his team, I don't want you to make mistakes, but I'm not going to crucify you if you do, so long as you follow it up and have a go with your second efforts. And we're seeing a bit of that today, and we certainly did a fortnight ago, as we get another ball up at half-forward flank. So trying to get a bit of run into the side, a bit of confidence. And Cruiser back in. That's, geez, that was a free kick, you would have thought. Anyway, Boak. Murphy goes in for the tackle. Pittard was strong on the ball. But in the end, his second attempt was never going to get through. And as a result of that, Graham's got the ball. 55 out. The tall timber in the square. Wood's back there. Casbolt's back there. Henderson's back there. Here we go. It's like kick the kick in the schoolyard. Up they go, and in the end, there's only one bloke who had his eye on the ball. Cracker fell over. It was good enough to get the handball away to Westhoff. The mark was taken. It wasn't in the end. I was looking at Westhoff as he ran away. It was Lobe. He got the ball. The ruckman got back, which was great stuff. Gray again. Now it's Buckley for Carlton.
Blues a chance to reload here late. Curnow, who never stops trying, looks up, goes inboard. White, cut off, Shorts, big fist, Carazzo. Curnow to start it all again. Back to White again. Caught, back to Curnow again. Ugly, but it might end up nice. Bell from just outside 50. Touched ball. Loby's going to have to go here. Trengove. Homsch. Pittard. Back to Homsch. Now, not a lot to go to. Has to wait. Colquhoun runs hard. He's got 2 to beat Colquhoun. Great run. He ran 55, 60 metres, took it to the line. Dumbarrow.
Good tackle. Didn't fall for it, Sam Rowe.
Good effort by Colquhoun, though, and that was just gut-running stuff to get there. He tried to dummy there, and just a really good tackle by Rowe. Took the wind right out of his sails.
You try and, you know, turn one on a bloke, he's not going to take it well. That's why he got dumped over the boundary line.
Yeah, Bell should have probably handballed earlier on when Carlton had the run inside 50. So just a couple of little mistakes costing both sides at the moment. That was a good, strong mark by Curnow. So inside the last minute of this quarter, it's been a good game of footy so far. Cruiser, front of the pack. No one down there for the Carlton side. Mitchell does it well. Fixed up his own mistake. Oh, this is dangerous. Big danger kick this one. Now Carlton a chance. Everett, they need the goal. Carlton, and he kicks it. Massive turnover there, and Carlton make them pay his second.
I'm not sure if coaches despise anything more than conceding goals right on breaks in the dying seconds of a quarter, particularly with a change-up like that from Broadbent. He must have had an obstructed view and didn't see the Carlton players there.
That's the 4th goal Port Adelaide have given Carlton in this first quarter. Costing it dearly, but
so fortune not really favouring the Brave at the moment. Port Adelaide taking it on, but the Blues causing turnovers. And right now, with 31 seconds left, with a massive amount of confidence heading into quarter time, even if they haven't got the lead. Murphy chips it wide. Still time for them to steal the lead. Rolling ball. Doherty. Murphy. Can he find a chest? Henderson bounced in front. Seconds tick. Down to 12. Ball in. Still a chance for a clearance and to steal the lead at the first change. But the good signs for Carlton, they're in this game to quarter time. Last time these two teams met, Port Adelaide won by 17 goals. Massive change around just a few months down the track. Free kick, Carlton row, but the siren will probably beat them. Simpson. So much has changed. Maybe Carlton has changed for the better in the last couple of weeks. This time last year, Port Adelaide was top of the AFL ladder. And they were smoking the rest of the opposition. Right now, they're in danger of being smoked. The Blues behind by a point.
But they're no hope of winning a premiership the way they're going at the moment. They'll be lucky to make the 8 unless they improve sharply.
Well, if they happen to lose today, they might need to win 8 from their last 10 to actually make the 8.
Well, they've got a big few games coming up after the bye, Port Adelaide. That'll dictate where they go.
Yeah, just 10 games left in their season after this. Murphy gets the clearance. Straight through Henderson's hands. Carlisle goes back. Danger. Cut off. Arnfield tripped. Could have got a free. Plays on to disadvantage. Now, will he come back?
Why is he coming back when he played on and had the shot?
Well, you get 2 chances, don't you, Jace? The way this is officiated.
Well, the way this is officiated, you do, but I never realised you had the opportunity to have the shot, and then if it misses, bring it back.
That's what they do. That's what I said before about the.
Well, I think only.
Have a umpire here. Oh, he was half giving explanation.
Well, I think if you have your kick as you get the free, and it's a behind, you get the chance to have your kick
but
again.
that was after the free kick.
It was 3 steps later.
Correct.
But then sometimes you take your kick and it goes to where you want, and they make you take it back anyway.
So how long do you get? Another 4 bounces? Arnfield goals. The Blues need a break this year. They get a good one here.
Without repeating myself, I mean, we said in the first quarter 4 goals for Carlton all come from Port Adelaide errors. Make that 5. Bobby Carlyle just coughed up a handball without looking who was coming, and Arnfield made the most of it. Good pressure by Carlton on the flip side as well, but gee, Porter coughing it up.
He made a conscious decision to keep going, and then he was disappointed when he missed the kick.
So Carlton get a break there. Arnfield hit the post with the shot. He was given an advantage. Benefit of a very large doubt, but they're in front again, the Blues, by 5 points. Scoring inside the first minute, just what they needed. And Cruiser in the ruck looking good today. Former #1 draft pick up against Lobie now, so he gets front spot. Second man up, but Murphy read it beautifully off the pack and gets it inside 50 again, over the head of Henderson. Race for the ball here. Fantastic stuff by Menzel. Around the body he goes. He kicks the point. Just missed. Great excitement up in the Carlton forward line. They've got to get it in quickly. Bit of chaos ball, Jace, for these blokes who can play to get it and see what happens.
Well, what they're getting are opportunities 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. They're not facing outnumbered situations.
Menzel's first touch of the game, that was. Did not touch it in the opening term. Unlucky not to have 1 kick, 1 goal. Colhoun comes wide. Wingard hammered away from him by Buckley. Yaron tried to pick on the run, didn't work. Wines. Monfries thought about the knock on. Wingard. Just your standard brilliance.
And a good lesson there. If you see Wingard, how he kicked the ball, he took the opportunity to straighten up as quick as he could, but when he kicked through it, he actually kicked right through it, straight at the goal, and that's why it went for it. He didn't hit it perfectly. Yaron there, you've got to put your body over the ball. Cop what's coming.
Yep.
See how he kicks through it? That makes it flow straight through. A lot of people love kicking around corners, but if you want to play your percentages, play like Wingard.
So a bit of indecision there by Yaron as Doherty was coming for him.
Yeah, but you know what? They worked it out, and Doherty shepherded his man from behind him, so all Yaron had to do was focus on the footy, and he didn't do that, Ed.
Yeah, needed to take the hit on that occasion, and didn't. So Cruiser gets the hit out, and Wingard doesn't need much of an opportunity. Here they go again, and there he is again, but he left it behind for his teammate to maybe get the give and go, but no one went and got it.
Good tackle, Monfries.
Umpire comes in to bounce. Umpire Matthew Nichols. Brendan Hosking is the other umpire today, with Brent Wallace, the son of Terry Wallace, in his second umpiring performance. Lobe, a beautiful hit to advantage the boat from 52 on the left. He just wobbles it forward. Dangerous ball, Tui. Knows Robbie Gray's right behind him. Yarano's under pressure. He's kicked the goal.
Kicked the goal, and he threaded the needle.
It's a big couple of minutes.
So, a rush behind. There we go.
It went behind the goalpost.
A few years ago, he was doing a fair bit of that.
Yeah, one of the few sports where you can do that. Simpson kicks long. Curnow. Bell.
Casbolt in space.
Drives it line his direction, Casbolt. Fantastic hands. Cruz is calling for it, screaming for it. Everett's forward, screaming for it. Everett in the pocket. Pittard. Big fist thumps it over the boundary. 34-33, and right now, this contest is a ripper.
It's a good spoil. Really good spoil from Pittard.
Just got there in time. So Pittard's had a good game so far for Port Adelaide. Cruiser again gets the front spot. Knocks it forward. Cripps is lurking with intent. But Port Adelaide through Carlisle get the ball out to the defensive 50. Nice nudge underneath, and Rowe takes the mark. So Carlton just with the momentum at the moment. Rowe sets it up. There's plenty of blues here. And Casbolt takes the mark and will line up 35 metres directly in front. And this could be the hardest part of the equation for him.
Chase, that's how you kick the ball into your forward 50. When you know you're not going to kick a goal, put it to the most dangerous spot. And on that occasion, it was 25 metres out straight in front.
Being taught by Severio Rocker. I was watching him in the warm-up today. Wasn't over-kicking the ball. So he knows he's got a thumping leg, so he just needs to guide it through. Big, deep breath. Huge kick for Carlton to get the momentum going. Levi Casbolt lines it up. 35 metres. Nice approach. Comes in and kicks it right through the middle. Goal to Carlton.
Well, you just need an understanding about players with the ball further afield. They need to know where the dangerous spots on the ground are, and the forwards should be reading it before the backmen do. Now, you can see Rowe's got the footy, he's outside 50, and he just kicks it to space in the corridor. And there were 2 or 3 forwards that were the first players there.
There he is. There's no one next to him. There's no one on him at all. Great spotting. There's no one on Levi Casbolt. He got the right spot. He got to hit up and went back and kicked the goal.
I think Carlisle was expecting him to head back to the goal square, and he didn't get there. He was waiting for him back deep and
assuming.
Yeah, correct.
Wood in the ruck. Hartlett trying to get the clearance bumped. Gibbs caught, dump. Holding the ball.
He wanted to give it off, but unfortunately, all his teammates were covered.
Cracker. Thumps it, hoping for Schultz if he can get there. Used his body, fed back onto it, and then left it behind. Rowe. Pittard cuts it off. Good tackle, Doherty. Had him for a long time. Pittard, Schultz. Carlisle, Schultz. Back to Carlisle. Pops it inside 50. Wingard. Thrown out of that. Simpson. And Wingard pleading to the umpire.
He thinks he was pulled down. Arms chopped.
Let's have a look.
He certainly had the arm pulled. The right arm was pulled by Tui. That should have been a free kick.
A bit of tunnelling in there as well, for good measure. So Carlton by 5 points. Hartlett again knocks it forward. Good play. Mitchell's been busy. Gets the ball. Nice handball. Just missed the target into the open goal. Would have gone both. He does it anyway. He went and got it. He hunted the ball because he's a champion and kicks the goal.
Well, Bokey might have to fire up a little bit here if Port are going to win this game.
Listen to the chat between players and umpires. The umpire said, we're trying to watch everything, and then he goes, everyone wants a free. Everybody wants a free. It's a good line. Yeah. Gee, they had the numbers, Carlton. They'll be disappointed they allowed that. 4 on 2.
Enough the players want to hear that from the umpire.
Predictability of Boak's brilliance and the unpredictable bounce of the ball combined there to tighten it up again. Robbie Gray out of the middle, spears it to Westhoff through his hands. Rowe, White, Bell, good trap with the toe, goes back, caught, kick, Hartlett, through legs, off the grass, Robbie Gray. Oh, good wing tackle, Carazzo. Almost an arm breaker. And we'll get a ball up on the wing.
Lucky he's got the strapping on the shoulder, kept it in the socket. Oh.
Gee, they're all going third man up.
Yeah. Bryce Gibbs turns it over. Colquhoun Dump didn't really have it. Hartlett, well, play on. Carazzo, Arnfield, Henderson, Casbolt's in the spot, and stolen by Menzel.
Well, it was a good kick because they had an extra forward, the Blues. It was 3 on 2. Menzel snuck forward. And I thought Henderson might give the ball back to Armfield, who was quickly looking to get on the end of it after giving the hand pass. But Henderson just looked up, saw a marking option, kicked it there, and now you would expect Menzel to finish from here. And the Blues are having a really good run.
They're really working their corridor, aren't they, Roo? Carlton, when they're going inside 50. This is 2 kicks to the spot for the last couple of goals.
Yeah, playing the percentages, so they might have got that bit of feedback at quarter time about their mistake they made in the first quarter.
Just his second kick, kicked it behind with his first kick, and puts the Blues back in front with his second kick.
Well, they're having a crack, boys, and that's what they need to be doing. Let's have a look at the Robbie Gray tackle here by Carazzo. Described as a good wing tackle by Dwayne. I don't know if Robbie will agree to that, but did restrict him. And there's the kick. There's Menzel over the back. Very smart kick again. Just so important. Bad kick there, probably gets spoiled through for a point. Good kick gets the goal.
I guess that's the problem with having Cracker down there at the moment, Jason. He's fantastic with his rebounding. He's had the 8 possessions, 8 kicks, and he's going at 100%. But it's his actual defending closer to the goal line that's always going to be the trouble.
Goal for goal this quarter. 3 goals to Carlton, 2 to Port Adelaide. It's their turn. It's Cruiser, though, who says, I want to do something different about this. Good play. Gibbs will tap. Fancy play. Good stuff. Carazzo back to Gibbs. Cripps is just a great player. Gets it to Gibbs again. Doherty has been magnificent. Long kick. Wood has to go. He does. He's going to get this. Wood. He's knocked it out to Armfield. Wood, he got it. The comedy of errors, but Wood had the last laugh. Cameron Wood kicks a goal. Carlton go back-to-back this quarter.
I look forward to a replay of this because I think Dennis Armfield's had the biggest air swing you've ever seen.
There's an area.
He would have kicked it over the grandstand off the deck. He really should have marked that. Trend goes, unfortunately. There's the miss. And Cameron Wood couldn't believe his luck.
Did well there, Wood, to get it forward. Was it Doherty that did that kick in the first quarter that we were a bit critical of in the 450 entry? I think it might have been it.
Jace, that's just the old soccer step over, isn't it, for your mate?
It is.
Set play.
I'm not sure it was intended, though, Moons.
11 points is the biggest margin of the game for the Blues, and they are running again. Cripps, Murphy, Menzel told to go. Impey, Wines. Oh, lucky to be called a handball. That could well have been holding the ball.
Look, there's a lot of pressure on the umpires at the moment, but we have a look at the Menzel mark. Did it make it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a mark.
So 2 errors in 8 seconds there.
Did he control it? It was rolling on the ground. One thing I will say about the umpires is they're at least being positive and decisive. Whether you agree or not, they're not leaving any doubt as to their own decisions.
High tackle, Murphy. Goes to the pocket. Henderson! Thinks about passing it off.
It's the first time he's got a break on Jack Holmes today.
Boys, if he kicks this goal in the second quarter, Carlton have had 8 inside 50s for 5 goal 1. If he kicks it, that's a very high ratio of scores to entries. 72% they're going by foot in their score to Carlton. Port, 33.
For 3 goals in a row for a 17-point margin, and he doesn't even score.
So the Blues, with all the momentum at the moment, would have loved that one, obviously. So, big cruiser goes up again. You can hear the Carlton crowd every time he goes near it. They give it the big cruise, but they love what they see. Now Buckley, give and go to Curnow. Curnow's next kick is an important one. It's a good one to Yarran. Yarran looks up and out wide. He sees his teammate out there in Graham. Long bomb to the square. Everett, the flyer from behind, brings it to ground. Good punch from behind from Trent Grove. At the fall of the ball, Henderson tackles Wines. Good play. Hartlett's smothered by Graham. Flicking it around. They've got the ball going now. So Holmes looks up. Not much on. Tries to draw his player and does it well. Now they can get going, Port Adelaide. Great mark, almost pulled in by Schultz. Needed to go two-handed. Now on the rebound, it's Doherty. His kick is up to centre wing. Chance for Tui. Nice little handball. Carazzo. Chip kick is just in. No, it's not. It was out of bounds. Henderson couldn't quite get there. And Hartlett's got it for Port.
Oh, he's hit the umpire. He's done a Peter Carey.
It's a ball up.
It's got to be.
What do you do there?
He has to ball it up. He said that's the rule.
Well, kicked it straight into him. He shanked the kick. Just nothing the umpire could do.
Clean hands.
Umpire Brendan Hosking.
Wasn't it Peter Carey that called one years ago?
Over the whacker, wasn't it? Or the seven?
It's not his hands. That was one of the best marks of the day so far from Brendan Hosking. Well done.
You can see the funny side. Crowd are right into this.
Oh, yeah.
The volume's up. Where was this Carlton in the first half of the year? They are immensely watchable right now and almost unstoppable. Bell runs forward. You bet they're unstoppable.
I'm desperate to see the over-the-head handball here that goes back to Tom Bell. It was extraordinary if it was intended to get there, Rube. That one. No, wait for it. You see, he gives it. And then Cripps here.
Yep.
Yeah, he knew it.
That's an amazing handball to get it back to Bell.
Is that a reflection of their confidence, boys? I reckon it is. Look at that. That's a gun. Five goal 1 for the quarter, boys. From 10 shots. Henderson missed that one out in the full as well. The pressure that Port Adelaide are under at the moment, they've had 12 kicks, 17 handballs. Carlton really at them.
It was goal for goal, and Carlton have slammed on 3 in 5 minutes. Gray tries to stem the tide. A high up and under, up to the forward line. Punched away from Buckley, by Buckley in fact. Carazzo flicks it back. Looking for his teammate there in Simpson. He finds him the second time. Simpson goes over the top. Carlton playing with a lot of confidence now. Doherty's kick just wobbled up. Port Adelaide's confidence is shot at the moment. Cripps, he's magnificent, this young player. Look at him go. Cruiser presents. Hits him on the chest. Missed the mark, gave it back. Now he goes again. Now the ball comes in from Bell. Loggins from Everett! Everett's marked. 15 metres out. Earlier this year, you wouldn't think Carlton could kick 4 goals in a match. They're going to kick 4 in 6 minutes.
And look at the perplexed look on the face of Ken Hinkley.
Well, he knows right now their season is on the line, Port Adelaide. Don't worry about premierships. Trying to even make the finals at the moment. They'll be 5 and 7 if they lose this game today.
Everett for his 3rd of the game. From 15 metres out, kicks on its way. Carlton Shearsquat give you the result. He's kicked 3.
Great effort by Everett. He's looking dangerous up there. The more Carlton move the ball quicker, give him time and space, he's becoming a bit of a target up there. Look at that by Jonas. He's had a stinker today, Jonas. Bell's coming into it. And Everett. Big second quarter here by the Blues. Port Adelaide under the pump. Lose this, they'll be 5 and 7. They've got Sydney in Sydney, Collingwood in Adelaide, and then the showdown is their next 3.
Well, we spoke about the turnovers for Port Adelaide costing goals, all 4 goals in the first term. It's now 6 goals, 2 from turnovers and 4 from stoppages.
Westhoff's been sent into the ruck. He got the clearance, toted inside 50. Schultz tried to get it out. Yaron beelines it. Simpson, Cripps, caught by Moore. And this is a big kick for Moore. Not quite as big as the one he had with the last kick for Port Adelaide. Prelim final here last year, which is the last game Port Adelaide played here. But it's a big kick nonetheless. Port Adelaide's whole season is on death row. Of all teams, it's the bottom team on the AFL ladder, Carlton, that have them right now on the ropes. Moore, drop punt, misses.
We talk a lot when Port Adelaide are playing well about the run they've got in their game, Roo. But when you look at the handball receives in the second quarter, 26-12 in favour of Carlton. The Blues are running right, and Port's run has dried up, Port's confidence has dried up. They're just a shadow of their former selves.
White did that beautifully. He's run from full back in the set play, and they got it out the centre wing, but they're going to get another turnover at Carlton. Here they go. Gibbs concedes some ground, back to Simpson. Simpson looks up. Nice kick to Cripps. So Cripps, what a body he's going to have when he fills out a bit too. Just athletic, got the great skill. Plays well, courage. He's got the lot, something for Carlton fans to look forward to. At the back, lurking is Wood. Buckley decides to go up the middle, gives it to Yaron, who's a running machine. Decides to just take his time. Kick was a beauty to Armfield. They're all running past Yaron again. Yaron just chips it high. Over the top it goes. Chance for Henderson. Takes it with 1 mitt, does well. Grabbed by the legs, notices the umpire. Underline throw in.
Jace, you talked about the handball receives being 30-13. Uncontested possessions in the second quarter, 46-14 as well. They're just getting dictated to here, Port Adelaide. Carlton are full of running. I don't know if it's the bye or just how bad Port are going or the confidence of Carlton or all 3 put together, but they are dominating.
Calhoun gets it to the boundary line, and temporary reprieve for Port Adelaide for a throw-in in the true half-forward flank position for Carlton.
The other factor, Port are kicking at 38% by foot, Carlton 71%.
It's horrendous, isn't it?
And the Blues certainly look fresh off their bye. Complete change. The whole club, change of coach, change of momentum. Broadbent heads wide. Alapate Carlisle. The bounce was kind, but it just can't get the handle on it. Now he's caught, wrapped up. Casbolt's got him. Menzel, White, Buckley, run down and pushed a little. And a tie-up with Jonas. Ball up half forward.
Jeez, that was good footy. Good hard footy from both sides, wasn't it?
Big Bobby Carlisle is not the man you usually like to be kicking to a switch to, but at least he's running.
Absolutely. Pittard knocks it down. Ebert. Bogue. He's wrapped up. Been a great player, Bobby Carlisle, but he's about to break the record for the most games ever without a Brownlow vote.
Well,
Ross Henshaw holds that, 67.
High contact.
Buckley's got it and he takes off.
Oh, Simpson's on.
Gibbs. Simpson. Cruises long. Puts it in front of Cruiser. Edged under it. Cruises. Bangs it back. Goal square. Doesn't even get it to the goal square on the full.
Tidy.
He's working hard in the ruck, Matty Cruz, but he hasn't had a lot of the ball. He's only had a couple of touches.
So Westhoff to Gray, some of the big names at Port Adelaide combining. It's the next one that counts though, to get it out of that defensive 50. Calhoun's been good. Decides just kick long up the line, but Carlton got the numbers. Yaron, Carazzo inside, turns it over. Carazzo goes again. Nice flick of the hands over to Dylan Buckley. Buckley, untidy but effective in the end as Yaron finds Armfield. They're full of momentum. They're taking the game on Carlton. So Armfield says, right, let's go. Gets the handball inside to Bell. He goes long to the square. Cruiser! Up he goes, couldn't hold it. Goes a second time, goes a third time.
The ball.
And drops the ball.
He thought about the kick over the head, didn't he? He was going to kick it straight over his head.
The chugger block full of confidence, aren't they?
Broadbent's kick is a good one. Now Port Adelaide are away.
Travis Boak's hurt. He's about to come off, and the trainer said, no, stay on. We need you on there. But he wants to get off Travis Boak. He's got a problem. Pittard.
This is their problem here, though, Jace. If they don't run and carry the ball down by hand, they don't have those big targets down the line like a Casbolt, who can at least kick it to just to get yourself out of a bit of trouble.
Yeah, I was about
Going
to say,
forward, they're really struggling.
I agree. There's absolutely no presence at half forward. They've got no bailout kicks, and they're not running and carrying. So they've got all sorts of problems, Port, at the moment.
Yeah, the forward line revolves around getting the ball quickly, so they've got enough room to lead. They're all short or quick.
Oh, big high loopy handball.
Downfield. Jonas was dumped after.
By Cruiser.
Cruiser went on with it.
That's a shame because it would have been a turnover.
Impey hands it off to Wines. Travis Boak feeding back inside 50. Simpson floats in. Moore. Good bump. Was it too high? Just high by White.
Probably was there.
So Moore. Is he within range?
Yeah, he'd struggle. He'd struggle.
Missed his last shot.
But if he bombs it, that just sets it up. Oh, that's a good kick to Lobie.
Lobie. Schultz. Wines.
Kick.
And a steadier. No need to tell you. They needed that.
I really liked the kick from Andrew Moore, I think it was, because Carlton had big numbers back. They had Cruiser and Wood, a couple of tools back waiting for the long kick. So he dropped it short because Lobie was in front of the pack. Lobie had a run and jump, didn't mark it, but was able to bring it forward to ground. You can just see all the tools back for the Blues. Lobie creates a contest, and then Schultz to Wines results in a goal.
And when you do that kick, Jace, you don't have to put flight on it. You want it to actually get there reasonably quick.
So after 4 consecutive goals, Port Adelaide get one back. The turnover was on. Cruiser go away a free kick. We'll just check back and see if we can find it for you. But we'll look back on that one. That was a vital goal for Port Adelaide, and Gray gets it out of the centre. So 22 minutes into this second term, it's in Port Adelaide's forward line. They dive in on top of the ball. Buckley's in there. He's in a bit of trouble. Umpire says ball up. So 4 minutes and 28 seconds to go.
Brad Ebert hasn't touched the ball for the Power in this second quarter. Wingard has only had one. Monfrey's one. Westhoff one.
Robbie Gray into the open goal for 2 in a row. He gets it. Life back into Port Adelaide.
He's the star of this bloke, but before we look at that, let's go back to that Cruiser free kick you were talking about, Eddie. Middle of the ground, so Carlisle isn't allowed to run on there, and then he goes there. It's the push from Casbolt, actually, on Jonas that takes him completely out of play. But this bloke, look at the way he creates space in traffic. He's in the middle of 4 or 5 Carlton players, and they don't touch him. He is a star.
2 goals now for Robbie Gray, coming off a 2-goal, 27-possession game last week that gave Port some hope in a game they eventually lost. Back in the middle, Lobie, Cruiser, Gray on cue, tackled by 3.
Next guys, let it go, let it go.
4 minutes left to half-time. Cripps third man up. Carazzo just out of Menzel's reach. He was caught by Impey. Turnover. Henderson got it from Westhoff. The crowd are right into this right now. I'm not sure the Blues fans have been into a game like this all year.
Cripps taken without the ball, says the Carlton fans. Umpire said no play on. Gray, who's been fantastic, gets the kick out to Mitchell. Boak, who stayed on the ground. Great stuff from the captain on the left boot. Just wanted to get it up the ground. Now a chance for Simpson. Sits for him. Handball. Rowe. Tui. Nice little jink. And then a long kick up towards centre half forward. They've got the numbers here. Westhoff's got back and marked it. He's been a steadying influence in the last 10 minutes for this Port Adelaide side as well. The handball goes into Jonas. Running up the middle of the MCG. He goes out wide. Rowe decided to go across the front of the pack. Did well. But Boak just shrugged his hips and kicks it long to the goal square. They've got the numbers, Port Adelaide, but they dropped the ball. You wouldn't believe it from this bloke, but Wingard's good enough to make up his own mistakes and kicked the goal. 3 in a row to Port Adelaide. Game on.
Great fight back by Port Adelaide late in this game, late in this second quarter. They needed to, Jace, and they're right back in it.
3 goals for Chad Wingard. Starting to find some consistent form again. It looked like Monfries was angling for a free kick against White, but Wingard should have taken the uncontested chest mark. Thought there was contact coming. As you called, Ed, good enough to crumb his own mistake and kick the goal.
This is last on the AFL ladder against 10th, and yet right now it feels like a grand final. And in some ways the Blues are playing it like it's their grand final. And Port Adelaide know if they don't win today, their season might well and truly be over. Gibbs pumps it back. Dying stages. Second term. Gibbs gets it back again. Rolls it. Westhoff. Tumbler. Flicks it back. Throws it back. Trengove. Half court. Cracker. Untidy handle. Broadbent. Shovels it away. Good pick, Robbie Gray to Carlton. Poke pass toward even. Schultz gets there, gets it off the deck with his toe. Wines caught. Just got it away. Turnover. Yaron flicks it back. Carazzo. Intensity is awesome at the moment. Yaron. Just a shrug step. And then a poor kick. Port Adelaide's ball. 2 minutes 17 left.
Well, one of the interesting things about this resurgence from Port Adelaide, Rue, is it's come with Westhoff playing loose in defence.
Yeah.
So it's forced them to run and find different options rather than the standard structure, hasn't it?
Oh,
He couldn't protect his head there, Robbie Gray. He's been poleaxed.
he's out, is he? He's out.
Yeah.
His eyes are gone, I reckon.
That was interesting because he had him and then he threw him.
Well, the swing tackle from years ago, I don't know what's happened to it, but
Yeah,
that's it, isn't it?
I don't think that's a sling tackle.
Well, what is a swing
boys,
tackle?
that happened right in front of me. That was just a good hard tackle. Just his arms were pinned.
He's got the arms pinned.
He's
Got the arms pinned.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they'll look at that.
Years ago.
They'll look at that.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying.
If you're going to write a rule into the rule book, then you have to adjudicate it.
Yeah. I mean,
you were told it.
Yeah, he swung him around.
Yeah.
He's trying to take him to ground. I understand it hurts. A very fine line between a swing tackle and a sling tackle, isn't there?
No, true.
He swung him around.
Right. And that's where the confusion was a couple of years ago. Remember?
It wasn't malicious, was it?
No, but
it was a good tackle, but unfortunately the circumstances prevailed that his head hit the ground.
You do tackle like that to hurt them, though.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes, whether there's malice or not, it'll still be interesting to see how they adjudicate that one.
Yeah. Well, as a result,
it'll certainly be scrutinised.
Robbie Gray, a wonderful player, and you just feel sick every time you see something like this in any game of footy. He's being loaded onto the stretcher.
That's their best player, probably done for the day. He's got 15 possessions. He's their leading possession getter.
2 goals.
Yeah.
He really led them out of the abyss this quarter, didn't he, Robbie Gray?
He's had 8 clearances too, boys. 4 out of the centre, if you don't mind.
As you called, Rude, the eyes were gone, weren't they? He looked asleep when he was lying there on the ground.
But that's why they brought that rule in a few years ago, because it is a dangerous tackle.
Well, the best outcome is just a mild concussion. Let's hope that's the case.
You doubt they'll allow him, even if he wakes up now, to come back on for the rest of the game, though. Port Adelaide do have a bye, so they do have a bye next weekend for him to get over that, but there's a big half of footy still to come that he won't be part of, you wouldn't think.
He's blinking the eyes, so that's a good sign. At least he's certainly conscious, and that's the next 4 weeks. They get the bye, and then Sydney, Collingwood, Adelaide. They certainly wouldn't go into any of those without him with much chance.
And the whiplash effect there, when the doctor right there, the neck brace is on, and Robbie Gray, just a wonderful player.
Yep.
So thoughts are with Robbie, and of course his family and friends who are watching on today.
And that's normal. They take every precaution when they do that.
So the ball up was called, and we'll have that in a moment.
So it was interesting because when the players started to remonstrate, the umpire said, come on, there was nothing in it. So that was his version.
Thumbs up from Robbie Gray to the Port Adelaide cheer squad. So we'd love to see that. We'd love to take something from that horrible situation. So fingers crossed everything's right for Robbie Gray. Back to the action.
And Brendan Archie is the sub. He's now allowed on, and they'll have a 20-minute period where they can assess Robbie Gray at least. Right now their sub is into the action.
And then Gibbs is the player doing another tackle. He was the one who tackled Gray. Not doing anything wrong, he's just having a crack.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. You'll see that tackle replayed quite a few times in the next 24 hours. Don't worry, it'll be scrutinised. And they wrote the law into the book, slam tackle. And right now, everybody in this stadium is on the edge.
And it's Port Adelaide losing their cool.
I was just going to say before, Carlton are playing a bit unsociable, a bit like Hawthorn at the moment, which is the way that you want your team to play. You want them to play on the edge.
I love it. We can see the sub hasn't been activated as yet. I love the way the Blues are tackling hard at the moment. They're going hard at the ball, hard at the man with the ball. It's brilliant.
Gibbs scrambles it quickly. Moore looks at him.
I reckon if he hung on to it a touch longer, he might have found the fence.
He might have been happy with us.
They were closing in on him.
He'll be lucky to keep that bun by the end of the day. Boak flicks it up. Pittard stops. 1 minute 30 left. Hardlett. And it might be on after the halftime siren here as well. Hardlett gets bumped on the full. Free kick Blues.
Yeah, Ollie Wine's not happy either. He thought he was in position to get the short chip kick.
And there's still some pushing and shoving going on out there. It's going to be interesting in 90 seconds time.
Oh, yeah. 1:28 on the clock. It's a big 1:28. Carlton by 4 points. Port Adelaide want the momentum. Obviously, the kick is a shocker, and suddenly things are starting to unravel here a little bit for Carlton. Ollie Wines looks up, kicks to the top of the square. Oh, good mark, getting back wide.
And he'd be relieved he got the mark after the dreadful kick too, Simon White. You expect this one to go long and high.
And that's exactly what he does. Out towards Cripps, who flies up and takes it to the boundary line. Good play by Pittard with the punch. We'll have a throw in. With 1:08 on the clock, Dwayne Russell calling the action.
Blues fans will be happy to see this kind of effort from their team. They've been bursting to see it all year. That kind of enthusiasm, endeavour. Just put your life on the line for your club and your jumper. Wines scrambles it. And Simpson gets back. And he does it every week. The ever-reliable. 50 seconds left. 63-59. Bangs it outside 50. Cruise it. Great pluck. The big man's back. Game 2 for the year. Carlton by 4. Seconds tick down. Heads to the wing. Westhoff had a good quarter. Puts it to grass though. Hartlett tried to get it out. Both players go low. Hartlett flicks it out towards Westhoff. He's got Travis Boak. And dumped again. Downfield. It's got to be on.
Well, there's only 10 seconds left. They don't want to concede anything here, the Blues.
Tommy Jonas is one fella who does not take a backward step.
Cracker gets it inside 50. Ball hits the deck. 1 second. This will count.
Oh, no.
This will count. Nothing in it. And we have got a game on our hands at the MCG. A revitalised, rejuvenated and spirited Carlton are taking it right up to Port Adelaide, who had to be denied for the last 3 goals of that quarter to fight right back. And it's 4 points of difference at half-time at the MCG. And we've got a great old-fashioned game of footy on here. It's rough and it's tough. And at times it's ugly, and sometimes it's just sublime. We've got it all here today at the MCG. Carlton, 10-3-63. Port Adelaide, 9-5-59. From the 10.5-minute mark to the 18-minute mark of that second term. And then when they were down on the canvas and twitching, they got up. Port Adelaide kicked the last 3. So we have got a real game on our hands. And let's get going. Dwayne Russell calling the action. It's Carlton by 4 points over the Port Adelaide Power.
Robbie Gray not out of the game officially just yet. We don't expect him back, but they haven't brought their sub Brandon Archie out of the green vest just yet either. Port Adelaide. Carazzo to Krebs, goes back. Bell, good reach.
Boys, Jack Homps has started at full forward for Port Adelaide.
Big move that. Bell wide, and Jonas paddles it out of play. So
I don't reckon that's ever happened while he's playing at Port Adelaide.
He's never kicked a goal. Jack Homps. So
is that an injury concern, or is that a tactic to try and kick some goals?
You've got a full forward in game 51 who's never kicked a goal yet.
Well, Westhoff started in defence. Usually that means they're under pressure.
Carazzo, hands and knees, flicks it over his head. Bell turns inside. Westhoff, there he is at fullback on cue.
And that's where he finished the second half of the second quarter, playing basically loose in defence, so just to mop things up.
Yeah, and they kicked 3 goals when he went back there, so maybe they thought, let's leave him there and try and create some run from his intercepts.
Ebert needed to take that mark, and he did. He was great. Impey shrugs the tackler, did it really well.
Oh, fumbles, bad fumbles.
Carlisle over the top, he's in trouble here, he's dragged it in. Umpire let it go. Yep, good play by the umpire there.
Gee, they had the extra man ready to go.
Advantage is paid, so Carlton are on the way. Bell leads forward, needs to mark, up he goes, can't do so. Good punch from behind by Broadbent, but Bell was equal to the task to Armfield. He gets it back. Henderson into the open goal! He's got it! First blood to Carlton.
Goal, Henderson, great pressure by Carlton. It was a bad fumble over on the other side by Carlisle. He's had a couple of bad fumbles out in the wing. He's trying his hardest to provide some run. And Carlton, good start. Kicked 6 goals in that second quarter, the Blues. Don't know if they've done that this year. Good effort by Bell.
Perfect start for the Blues and their fans in full voice early in this second half.
Isn't that poetic justice, Henderson having a go at Carlisle? He was the one that fumbled the ball up on the wing when they had a spare, and it's his man that kicks the goal.
Yeah. Obi to Cracker. Cut off. Rowe. Yaron. Cripps. Henderson calls for a short. Back to Yaron. Back to Cripps. Little fumble. Homsh. Good tackle. Cripps holds it in.
Just hasn't really clicked for Chris Yaron today.
Interesting though, when Carlton got the ball at half back, 4 of their defenders were running hard to receive, so their mindset is great.
Carazzo got his hands free. Bell looks wide. Murphy stands step, wobbles one towards the 50. Arnfield got an arm in. Through Trengo's legs. There's some fumbles. This is not the Port Adelaide you watched last year. This is the 2015 version, and there's some holes in it.
They are low on confidence. 3 blokes there, 2 ran over it and then a fumble. It's just not Port Adelaide at all. I think this is really starting to play on their minds at the moment.
And more importantly than that, Carlton are starting to believe, and the fumble's going to come their way, so they're attacking the ball. 360 gone, free kick going the way of Graham. He's been pretty good this afternoon, this bloke. So the sub is happening downstairs. We'll go to it in a moment. So Nick Graham bangs it long. Casbolt over his head. And again, it was one of those kicks. It was neither here nor there. Through for a behind.
Last year, Port Adelaide's fitness was a real power for them. They used to run over sides. This year, in their 11 games they've played, they've only won 3 second halves. So it's not a weapon that they can rely on again today.
Cracker heads wide and thumped out of play. So you saw Brendan Archie. He's the sub. He's about to come on. It's his 4th game of his career in his 4th season on the list. Big moment for Brendan Archie to have an impact coming on earlier than Port Adelaide would have expected, and replacing their best player in the game, Robbie Gray. Simpson. Touch play on. Boat. No prior. Oh, thrown into the deck by Carazzo. And you wouldn't want a lot of match out there at the moment. It could go up.
Tempers are fraying.
Yep. Good to see.
From the flick up, Ollie Wines. Nudged out of it. Murphy flicks it wide. Carazzo. Boat. Tight spaces. Good smother. Simpson on Wines. And the Blues fans roar again.
Well, that's the thing that's noticeable for me, Dwayne, is it's not a huge crowd, but it is a loud crowd. And I think for the first time this year, they're seeing Carlton play not just an aggressive brand of footy, but at times an exciting brand of footy, and they're loving what they're seeing.
Yep.
2 weeks ago against Adelaide, boys, they were playing, but not with the same confidence. But they had a go, which was fantastic, and the Crows got them in the end. But today, Carlton and their fans, the true blue believers, are all here. What can they do? They lead by 11 points. Broadbent forced to go backwards. That's great play by Carlton. They put the wall up. Big Cruiser on the mark. Bell pressing up as well. Now Westhoff has to hit his target. He does. It's a beautiful kick. Carlisle just waits and takes it. quickly gets it on to centre wing. Monfries looks up, as you can see, not much on, one-on-one. Carlton have got the situation under control here at the moment. Certainly with that mark, Rowe has put Schultz right out of business.
Well, it's not how you kick it to your forwards, is it?
No, but Monfries has had a very, very ordinary day. He's only had the 3 possessions to date, hasn't troubled the scorers.
Dylan Buckley playing in front of his old man Jimmy. What a superstar, 3-time Carlton Premiership player. He brought the balls out for the umpire today. He might have put his son's name on one of them too, because he's had plenty of it and he's got it again.
Gee, they've got some loose players around.
Levi Casbolt got the reach on Mitchell. Reach was good from Mitchell, but he knocked it down to White. Goes to the pocket. Henderson lace out.
That's a super kick from Simon White.
And he has this kick for a 17-point margin. Biggest margin of the game, if you've just flicked it on to either team, was Carlton by 23 points.
And this can be the product of one of the tactical moves of Port as well, because it was Homsch that played on Henderson for most of the first half. He's already kicked one after a Carlisle fumble up on the wing, rebounded. Now he gets a chance to kick a second.
His third. And across the face.
One out in the full too, Wills.
Yep, he's had some opportunities. Homsch just came over to the bench, had a chat, and now he might be heading down back again.
I think he told he was getting cold up full forward. 37 inside 50s to 27 in favour of Carlton.
Henderson's 2 set shots just not getting the job done.
But that's been an issue for Port as well, as Homsch makes his way back.
On the meter, boys.
Doesn't matter who you play in your forward line, Jace, if you don't bring it down there properly,
Yeah, and he
especially
just-
when you've got leading players.
He just swapped with Carlisle, and Homsch goes back onto Henderson.
Wood's done a pretty good job in the ruck. He got the tap down again, and Carlton get it out through Gibbs. Slams it on the boot, bouncing ball. They've got the numbers back, but it's an awkward bounce, and Cracker had to wait and sit, and the kick was just magnificent, and Ebert marks it in front of his eyes. He'd love to be leading out the Cracker every time he had the ball in his hands.
Oh, that's a tough kick. That's a really tough option. He had virtually no chance of pulling that off. Carlton working really hard defensively. They outnumbered Port up the line there, and they still managed to block off the kick into the middle of the ground or the change of direction.
There's Robbie Gray on the bench, boys. Good to see he's up and about at least.
That's good news.
Still got the boots on.
And so Robbie Gray out for the afternoon after a Bryce Gibbs tackle, which we'll be talking about for the next couple of days in football, no doubt about that. Here's a chance for the skipper in Buck. Crashes through. Says, I'll lead from the front. Balks around, then chips, gets it smothered. Tui flicks the handball out. Good stuff. Doherty's kick to Menzel. Menzel to Gibbs. They'll want to try and crunch in. Has the time, just toe pokes it forward. Nice kick. And the mark's being taken by Bell. An important Bell. His kick was always going to be a hard one to get through, but it's come off. Henderson over the top. Armfield knocks it forward. Now the charge is on. Armfield sits for him. Close in on the boundary line. Lines it up and kicks to the square. Did he? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It goes across the face of goal for a throw in.
I think he was trying to drill the pass to Everett, wasn't it?
Cruz, yeah, one or the other.
Westhoff should have just taken him out of the contest. Full stop. Too soft.
Throw in Cruz will do it by himself. Taps it out in the back. Here's a chance for Carlton. The snap is good. It's a goal to Graham. And Carlton get the first two of the third term.
Well, now the job gets a lot tougher for Port Adelaide. They don't have a Robbie Gray to spark them to make something happen. They're going to have to find some other players, and they've been few and far between today. That's a stoppage goal in the forward 50. Coach won't be thrilled with that. You can guarantee it. He was standing in space all too easy.
No one even competing, no one even next to him. That's basic football. We've played 10 minutes into this third quarter. It's 9 inside 50s to 0 in favour of Carlton. 8 clearances to 2. 46 disposals to 22.
Blues by 3 goals. Lobe knocks it down. Gibbs had a piece of it. Murphy flicks it back nicely. Simpson, handball smothered and stolen by Jarmanepi. Pokes it towards Wines at half forward. He's just back off the bench, Ollie Wines. Puts it over his head to Schultz. Falls over. Caught, gone. Well, he got a handball away. The umpire didn't see it. Tackle rewarded. Yarra.
Tackle rewarded, but he did actually handle it.
Yeah,
Should have been a free.
I think the umpire was blindsided because the umpire was on the right side to see it. Simpson, everything going the Blues' way right now. Port Adelaide down a man. The Blues still have Walker to bring on. He's their sub. Perusa floats into this, but he's finding form. The story is unfolding to perfection for Blues fans.
A
Tough year.
few green shoots, Dwayne, you reckon, for Carlton?
A wobbler. Henderson edged down to it. Murphy thumps it on. Cripps, one of the young stars, caught 360. Everett tucked into the pocket. Armfield! Everything going right for the Blues.
How do you summarise that, Jason? I mean, that's just keeping the ball moving forward and just hoping everyone's running and taking the game on. Here's Schultz. Gets a little handball, but it shouldn't have been a free, but it's gone now. Let's just have a look. They just keep the ball moving forward. Cripps, clever first, milks the amount of time he can hold onto it, and then Armfield just kicks it off the ground, and everything is going right, but they deserve it at the moment.
So everything going right for the Blues. But as Mark Prosciutto said, they deserve it because they're making all the play. They've kicked 3 goals in this quarter. The margin now 4 goals, 24 points. Carlton in front and are dominating the premiership quarter, as they used to call it in the glory days. Cripps gets it out. Murphy's handball.
After disposal, no clear advantage. Just here.
Okay, so the umpire had a good look at whether there was a clear advantage or not. He said no, so Murphy will get the free kick.
Well, already in this third quarter, 56 possessions to 23 in favour of Carlton. More than double the amount of ball.
So it was after disposal, it's downfield.
Yeah.
But not 50 because he wasn't in a position to receive the ball again. Is that right?
Yeah.
I assume.
So Cripps gives it to Murphy anyway. Oh, great stuff there. Casbolt, and also going through was Hartland, who gets the give and go and kicks it out. They're trying to get it going. They have to play Port Adelaide football here. Westhoff goes out to Monfries, needs to mark it. Buckley takes him under the ball. Monfries gets him on the overlap. Handballs forward. Buckley goes again. Out comes he, but Buckley grabs him. The Carlton fans are going nuts. Jimmy Buckley's boy. Stand up, son. Playing the game of your life, Dylan Buckley. And the Carlton fans dream of the 70s and the 80s. Even Jason Dunstall's winding back the clock up here when he buried for Carlton.
That was the 70s.
Wood gets the tap. Murphy's been important this quarter. He's been great. Port Adelaide flick it out. Broadbent now.
He pumps it up long. Schultz isn't there. Tui off hands. Through 3 sets of hands. Broadbent. Jonas pumps it up. Westhoff. Front spot Archie. Front spot Archie. Just on as the sub gets his moment.
So he's been paid the mark in front. I think he was the one responsible for Nick Graham at that stoppage at the other end of the ground when Graham kicked the goal. He was watching the ball, not playing a defensive role. Here he stands in front of the pack. Whose hands are on it? Yeah, I'm happy with that. You pay that man in front.
He's never kicked an AFL goal.
Oh, that's disappointing.
And he's still never kicked an AFL goal.
Yeah, that's just nerves, isn't it? That was a terrible action. He didn't have his run-up done properly at all.
And they're teetering at the moment. Carlton kicked the next goal, you think they're just about out of it. But if Port kicked the goal, well, they get the opportunity to put some pressure back onto the Blues.
10 minutes, 25 seconds left in this third term. It is an absolute ripper here. So much on the line. Henderson tracks the ball. Ball comes out. There was good play by Colquhoun, who's had his head over the ball and played well today. And we'll have a bounce 60 metres out from Port Adelaide's goal.
What Port need to remember is that the Blues aren't in the habit of winning this year. And they're not used to it. They're probably not expecting it. But they're thinking they're a red-hot chance. Port need to put some pressure back on them.
Archie slaps it forward. Cripps pushed in the back. Good umpiring there, good direction. So Cripps has it on the defensive 50. What a young player this bloke is. with good composure. He runs up the line, slams it as far as he can. Out comes Cruiser, goes past him, but Cruiser turns around beautifully, kicks it forward. Out comes Henderson, meets it full-chested, waiting for it as Curnow. Curnow just lurking, and will have a ball up, and that's almost a win for Carlton. Ball up 60 metres out from the Blues' goal. 23 points in front. They've kicked the 3 goals of this third quarter.
Clearances are 12-2 this quarter, so they'll be wrapped with a stoppage.
Oh, Gibbs' hit was magnificent to Carazzo, to Murphy, who's chipped to the pocket is a beauty as well, and Graham takes the mark. So Graham has kicked 2, 1 in the first quarter, 1 this quarter, so he likes this end. The City in at the MCG. Jace, take us through what he has to do here.
Oh, it's a tough kick. Don't know what his penetration's like. But look, the conditions are the ball will travel pretty straight if you strike it okay. It's very much protected at this end.
He'd kicked 3 in his 13 games. He comes in. And it's over the line and through for a behind. So he's now kicked 2-2 this afternoon and 1-2 for the quarter. And it's back to 4 goals.
Equal biggest margin of the game to either team as Broadbent thumps it to Westhoff, got an early leap but left it behind. Moore, Handmore smothered. Simpson picked his pocket. Opens up for Murphy, left it behind himself. Carazzo goes in. Untidy. Mitchell. Colhoun. Not the required 15 to Hartland. Oh, he didn't think it was. Umpire played the mark, then told him to go. Colhoun. Schultz. Had a quiet afternoon so far.
He's got to hit a target here.
Pittard's the man. He goes long. Good fist to him. He was the 1-on-2, and he got it over the line.
Well, I guess the idea was right, but he needed to look for another target if he didn't have the penetration in the leg to get over the top to find the loose man.
Maybe a bit more edge,
Yeah, they're not getting enough opportunities, Brooke. They can't afford to waste them.
Big pack around this. Ball eludes a couple. Boak caught. Ollie Wines smother. Back to Boak caught. Got up Colhoun. Twist. Around the body. Gives them life.
Tell you who was impressive in that little passage of play there, Roo, was Travis Boak. Twice he was the one that got the ball out. He gets it to Wines first up. Wines doesn't have the opportunity to kick the goal. There's the hand pass out. And then he follows it up and he gets the next one. And he sets it up for Colhoun. That is terrific play from the Port skipper.
Great spotting. When he's under attack from Carazzo, so getting inside and dishing it out to the outside runners is a really good thing.
So the skipper leading by example. Second efforts everywhere as Port Adelaide try and revive their season and this game. Back to 3 goals. Colhoun has been fantastic. Centre bounce. Wood does well.
Port Adelaide.
He held him out with one hand.
So Lobie gets the free kick.
Push out. It's okay. Put it on.
It's what he's got in front of him now. So Lobie decides to go long.
Strange option.
Schultz was the man. Oh, dropping into the hole was Wines. Was he clobbered there? I thought he might have been up for a free kick for the arm chop. No, says the umpire. Everett twisting and turning, just getting themselves in a bit of trouble at the moment, Carlton. Now it's Wines, a bit of composure required, and he provides it. And Monfries is a beautiful kick. And you've got plenty of goal open.
Just compose yourself, Angus. You can kick this.
Well, this is what I was talking about before, the opportunity to put a bit of pressure back on the Blues because they're not used to closing out games. Certainly not this season or the last couple.
Inside left goalpost for this bloke. He blokes to bend it back in. It comes in. Bending, bending, bending. Off hands, no one there. And through for a behind.
Boys, let's not forget about Robbie Gray going off. When he went off, boys, remember, he had 8 clearances. Port in this quarter have only won 4. And no one else other than Gray's got any more than 4. I think Ollie Wines and Pokey have got 4 themselves. So massive out there. That's why they dropped away in this third quarter in the stoppages.
Homsch. Cracker. Been delivering nicely. Edged out of it with Schultz and Rowe. Beats him hands down again.
Wasn't a great kick, but it's made for a really tough day for Jay Schultz. He hasn't looked like it.
Bell heads to Casbolt. To 2-on-1. Both Port Adelaide players collide. Homsch went to ground. Jonas got the ball. Oh, that's gone. Did he find his toe with the attempt to kick? Blues fans don't think so. Woods. Can he get there? Does, but puts it to grass. Wingard, normally a cool head. He is amazing. He's got 3.
Well, Port Adelaide are rallying here. I think that's Wingard's 4th, I think.
4th.
Yep, 4.
Sorry, Dwayne, I gave you the wrong mail there, mate.
Is that what you were signalling?
It was. It wasn't 2 sets of 2.
You've got to get that 4th finger fixed.
I'm sorry, mate.
Now, this is that free kick. We didn't know whether it was there.
Very lucky.
A little bit lucky there.
Very lucky.
Then again, they were unlucky when they paid one against Chase Schultz last quarter as well. Wingard, the finisher, number 4.
So Wingard kicks Port Adelaide 2nd. I gave Dwayne the wrong mail there. 3 became 4. Just want to clear that up. It was my mistake, Dwayne.
So that's your first one in 25 years. That didn't keep going.
Well, that's the second one you've made today, then. Cracker goes long and strong into the forward 50, free kick Carlton. So I reckon we're squared up with the Schultz free kick before, because that was that free kick all day to Carlton down here against Jonas. Doesn't matter, it's evened itself out.
Yeah, that looks softish, but importantly, Port have found a way to hang in. They've just got to keep hanging in and putting doubts in the minds of the Carlton players.
So 2 kicks in at the moment. Full-chested lead by Everett. That was good play. Now Armfield's got away. Nice lead, good kick. Gets it on centre wing. Further up the ground. Cripps is lurking, but they're going to go long to the big man. Woods is there. Can he get up behind the mark? No, he can't. Henderson at the fall of the ball has to do his own work. Crashes through. Handball's back to Armfield. Just haunts it. Cripps was lurking with intent for a while out there. He decides to look up and have a go here. Beautiful kick to Murphy. And maybe 50. No, says the umpire. Shouldn't need it from here, Jace.
Is that who Cripps was aiming for with that kick? I'm not sure, but it worked. Well, that's the most important thing.
I'm a fan. I'll give him the benefit.
Well, it's a good opportunity now for Mark Murphy just to go back and kick a saddler after Port had come back. It looks like a wobbler on the left. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think he might have been looking for the Casbolt lead. But anyway, the opportunity presents itself.
Oh, the classic captain's goal, this one. Mark Murphy.
Yeah, he'd kick this, you'd think, 19 times out of 20 minimum.
He comes in, concentration on his face, kicker's on its way, and the skipper delivers in spades.
He's had 9 disposals in this 3rd quarter here, the skipper. He was really standing up. That's his first goal for the game. Cripps snuck forward. That's good footy. Used to be called cheating. Now it's smart. And a very, very precise left foot kick to the captain.
There you go, boys. Time you leave. Straight back.
It's the beauty of football. Even when you think you know, you never know. Last on the ladder versus 10th, and it's turning into an epic. Quarter and a bit left. Boak. Pittard. Caught by Armfield. Arms free. Ollie Wines caught. Run down. Was that ball? Didn't get a kick away. Blues on the run now. Curnow. Heads wide. Henderson. Free kick. Henderson's ball.
Back here with me. 2 metres.
Blues fans start screaming again. Cruises into goal square. He's had a good game.
Well, I'm not sure why, and you can see the hands of Kane Mitchell's going, why am I trying to play on this play? There's got to be someone bigger to pick up Levi Casbolt and Kane Mitchell. They got it horribly wrong there.
Free a couple of times today, the big fella.
Still putting the hands out of his teammates going, not my fault.
He's sucking them in. Ollie, he copped a brilliant tackle in the middle.
Well, he won't miss from here. He can miss a goal or two. This is the best the Blues have looked all year, and the worst Port's looked.
Well, this gives them a real springboard. If they can keep going today and win this game, Carlton, they'll backed up their performance against Adelaide. Here's his tackle by Graham, and smashes him into the ground again. They're really playing aggressive football. They're playing unsociable football in different ways. Earlier on this year, to get up and go for a walk, you couldn't stand to watch them. But today, aggressive and playing the way that your spectators would like.
So big Levi Casbolt, look at that cruiser behind him in support. Wood, Henderson, the big men are playing well for Carlton today. Cam Wood in the ruck against Lobie. 23 points of difference, the best part of 4 goals again. Carazzo under the ball. Lobie did well, flicked it out. Good tackle though. And away go Carlton again. Murphy. Arfield let it go. Henderson. He probably should have gone for it in the end, but he's going to go a second time here. Drags his player out of the way. Henderson in the pocket. It's a squaring kick. Carlton got the numbers back, but it's a good defensive punch from Pittard. Through from behind, so it's an even 4 goals the difference. 26 minutes gone in this third term. Just under 3 minutes left.
I'll tell you something else. Levi Casbolt was on his own in the corridor again. Then I don't know who is responsible for him at the moment.
Straight down the middle. Massive 2.5 minutes coming up here at Empey. Takes the mark, edging close to three-quarter time. He played on and dropped it. Port Adelaide are a breaking strain. Doherty kicks smothered by Wines, who saves the day. Henderson got one little high. Umpire put the whistle away.
You saw Henderson.
He got one high for sure. Umpire missed it. Arfield bumped off it. Rowe. Heads wide. Bryce Gibbs is out there. Gets on the end of it. We're down to 2 minutes.
Carlton's got a spare in their forward 50. Cripps is on his own, boys, if they get it to him.
Bryce Gibbs to the booze after the tackle on Robbie Gray. Kicks inside 50. Bell just out of his reach. Casbolt ties it up.
Good bump there from White too. Made him earn it. Didn't give away the free kick.
There's a clash of heads here, or Henderson's got one high.
From the ball up, Archie with the clearing kick. Yaron with the thumping punch back inside 50. It bobbles and waits and they cough it up again. Here we go. This bloke can really play. Menzel on the left foot. Puts it high up in the air. Everett's got it again. No, said the umpire. Play on. Didn't quite hold it long enough. Pittard's got it. They're out of Joe. Port Adelaide. Now they've got Monfries on the break. Needs to mark. Goes up and does. That was a magnificent mark from Angus Monfries. Looks up. Ebert is on his own. That's where they're going. It sits up. Coming out was Rowe. He left his man, and that's his man at the back. Schultz gives it back to Ebert. Ebert's kick is a shocker. Panicked football. Over the line, out of bounds on the floor. Carlton lifting in front of their cheer squad.
Sam Doherty, back pocket. 1 minute 15 left, goes wide. Casbolt edged out of the contest. Archie picks it up. Alapate Carlisle. Angus Monfries. Colhoun. Centering Mongrel. Mitchell, not 15. It was paid 15. Kane Mitchell back into the lineup this week. Start for Port in the SANFL last week. He can be a little iffy with his feet, but he did kick a wind-sealing goal against North Melbourne in arguably the best game he's ever played. This is massive. From 48, sprays it.
Didn't make the distance either. They're not kicking the ball well enough to win this one, Port Adelaide. He's already on the move. Ken Hinkley with 30 seconds to go in the third term. It's been interesting watching the Hinkley reactions throughout the course of the game. Every time we flash to the coach's box, it might be after a really bad error. He's just been po-faced, and I think that's acceptance that this isn't an aberration. This is where Port Adelaide is at this year. They are playing this very average brand of football.
Jace, you reckon the further it goes into the season, the less chance they've got of turning around their form and getting back to the form of yesteryear? It's almost like it'll happen like this for the rest of the year, and let's see what happens over summer. Can they get back to 2014 form? And
Dylan Buckley does it beautifully. That's it. So Carlton will take a 23-point lead into the final term at the MCG for possibly their first win in Australia this year. They won in New Zealand, but their fans reckon that doesn't count. They've got to win it here in Melbourne. We've got a ripper on our hands as Port Adelaide fight to keep finals hopes alive. Oh, it's a beauty. Carlton 15-7, 97. Port Adelaide
get into the finals. It's going to be very tough if they don't get over the line here. Last year they won 18 of the 25 last quarters. This year only 3. Really struggling in these last quarters, Port.
Yeah, they were 10 wins and 1 loss this time last year, top of the AFL ladder in round 12. of the post-Malthouse, post-Judd Carlton era, and the first win for Johnny Barker as an AFL coach. Buckley, they're doing everything right now. Curnow and Buckley combine. Heads toward Henderson, half forward. Good gather, good shrug. Kick not so good, smothered by Hartland. Carazzo feeds it on. Curnow. Early momentum massive, just to break Port Adelaide with the first goal could mean everything for the Blues. Ball to the back. Cripps. Young star feeds it on. Bell tries to keep it alive. Does keep it alive. Hands it off. Menzel. That could be the heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker's the call for the Power, but I tell you what, it's a hard starter for Carlton. They are on fire. Too many soft tackles by Port Adelaide, just allowing Carlton to keep pushing the ball forward. Even that one by Brad Ebert, he'd be filthy on himself. And Menzel just finishing off the good hard work done up the ground.
John Barker, the Carlton coach, has said to his team, just go and play. I'll back you in if you make a mistake. Just make your second and third efforts important. Well, Bell was on the boundary line. He didn't give it up at any stage. He got it over. And, well, there's the goal to Menzel. And suddenly it's 29 points. And Carlton are full of run. Here they go. Bryce Gribbs. He's got the flash boost. Now he's got the hard tackle on as well. Ollie Wines goes in. They must get a goal here, Port Adelaide, to have any chance in this game, you'd think. A chance there for Cracker, who's been great. Good with his feet. Look, that one's no exception. And here's the chance now for Monfils. Must kick it.
Yeah, this gives them the quick answer. And then you get the status quo back to what it was at three-quarter time, a 4-goal margin. Then they can try and eat away into that. But, see, they've been poor on so many occasions. Port Adelaide not working hard enough. Carlton have shown a greater willingness to do the hard yards, to get more numbers to the ball. They cannot afford to waste any opportunities.
This for his 240th career goal, directly in front, comes in from 40 metres out. The kicker's on its way, and he's put it right through. Port are not done yet.
Been pretty quiet, hasn't he?
They're very quiet. He's only had the 9 disposals. That's his first goal.
You couple that with Schultz, who's only had the 8 possessions and no goals. They haven't had a lot up forward. Westhoff's had a little bit of the ball, but most of that's been playing loose in defence. He did manage to kick the 1 goal, but that forward 6 just hasn't functioned. I think for that reason they've also got Travis Boak spending a bit of time there. And Nathan Cracker's gone forward.
Edge of the seat stuff.
So 6 forwards, 6 backs. It's a standard structure, but they have moved Nathan Cracker to full forward. We saw him first 3 quarters at half back.
Good palm by Wood to Cripps to Graham. Everett, start early. Trengove, back in, slammed.
Carlton's tackling has been exceptional.
Their efficiency's at 70% for the tackle, Jace. Port Adelaide's at 54. Far too many missed tackles and soft tackles by the Power today.
Calhoun took an enormous amount of time. The Blues fans have been in fine voice all day. Archie, Broadbent, he's tackled to the ground. They are relentless.
Jace, explain to me why Cracker would be at full forward. When they're struggling for kicking efficiency in the right part of the ground, why would he be at full forward?
Well, he's rolling the dice, there's no doubt about
This
that.
bloke Cripps is just, he owns the ball at the moment around the stoppages. Talk about a gun young player coming through.
So whilst he was providing good run from half-back, I think Ken Hinckley's doing, it's almost the last roll of the dice. He said, we've got to force something to happen. They want to open up the line and see if he can work a little bit of magic, but it's purely simply because no one's getting the job done.
I'd try him in the midfield or something.
There he is again. He's #1 at Carlton for contested possessions this year. And today he's been dynamite. At the fall of the ball again, he's got all the skill in the world, but geez, he likes going hard as well.
He's had 10 tackles, Eddie, too. He's leading everyone on the ground in that department.
So Patrick Cripps has been a star for Carlton today. One door shuts and another one opens. Chris Judd walks out and another young man puts his hand up. to be a hero of a new generation of Carlton fans. There he is. What can he do in this centre bounce? 23 points of difference. Lobe gets the tap. Bell has been fantastic today too. He slaps the ball at it. Calhoun got it out, which good play to Archie, to Broadbent. Looks up. It's a dangerous kick, but he has to go for it. It's a good kick in the end. Which way will it bounce? It sits awkwardly, and the bloke who won it the most was Boak, who has been great for his side today. Here's a chance now for Impey. Lovely kick forward. Simpson read it well. Good clash of the bodies there. Fall of the ball. Who gets it? Who wants it? This man does. Great play by Wingard. Gets the handball back. Wingard has to go again. Tackle from Simpson. Gets it going. Westhoff hits the ground. Boak's still there. Boak trying his heart out. He slaps it on the boot and it's through for a point.
Well, that is just awesome pressure by Carlton. Port Adelaide are trying their hardest. They really just can't string the skills together, but Carlton are putting enormous pressure on them, and that's why it was a rush shot on goal on the end. It's really good footy.
Even that last Impey inside 50, he kicked to a 2-on-4. They're just getting more numbers around the contest.
Cracker. Wingard. If anybody can, Wingard can. He's got 4.
You think he'd just wheel out onto the left from there? It's going to take some sort of kick, isn't it?
He's capable of it. The distance is the one that's going to get him here, I think.
No question, that's why they've moved Cracker down there, though, Root, because he's just creativity. He's smart with the ball, and they just haven't had anyone inside their 50 to do anything today.
For number 5, to keep them with some hope. He is scary good, Chad Wingard.
There's a one-trick pony in the forward line today. He hasn't had as many disposals as he usually gets. He's only had the 11, but he's kicked 5 straight.
See a good contested mark there to Cracker, and you wouldn't normally advise kicking it to the boundary line like that, but he knew his man. You go to the hot hand, and that's Chad Wingard. In fact, he's the only hand for Port Adelaide today up forward.
So in amongst all the doom and gloom, this bloke, Chad Wingard, kicks 5. Cracker goes forward and sets up a couple. He's set up Monfries, he's set up Wingard, and it's back to 16 points. Walker still to be activated for Carlton, but it's the Port Adelaide side who get it in the forward 50. Monfries again to Boak. Boak lofts it high. Westhoff!
Free kick.
Free kick to Carlton.
Yeah, he threw wide out of the way. Just a little bit too exuberant.
They're going to make the most of this little momentum change here, Port Adelaide.
Just overcooked it a bit. Westhoff, he had him absolutely done. We'll have a look in a moment. Casbolt puts it out in front. Curnow runs onto the ball on centre wing. Not much up ahead. Next kick is important. He goes to the player there who was Henderson, who couldn't quite get there now. Port Adelaide again. They seem to be full of run. What can they do? They square the ball up. Ebert, who's had a dirty day today, looks up. You can see what he can see.
Oh, they got options now.
Tringo.
Got to go long.
And that's what he does. Shins it up forward, but it's been marked. Archie, little chip kick to the skipper. Boak gives the handball off. Now they go. Hartlett's kick is a beauty and is marked by Schultz.
Well, what they have done is they've pulled forwards deep. They've opened up the 50-metre arc, and they're just trying to create width and space. And all of a sudden, we've seen a few players find holes to lead into and get on the end of it. But again, to complete the equation, Schultz has got to kick a pretty difficult set shot.
He's been stone cold today, Jay Schultz, but he needs to be ice cool and put it through. He comes in for his first score of the day, and he doesn't even get that. From behind, it's a screamer, Westhoff.
Just got to take his time. Got to take his time. He got the big run and set. No one blocked off his run. He'll kick it around the corner.
He thought he'd put Port Adelaide within 10 points a moment ago, and now he does. Gets it on the second attempt. It's a 10-point ball game. Game on.
Roo, this is what we spoke about before. You've got to put pressure back onto Carlton. You've got to put doubt in their minds. Justin Westhoff, he's had a poor day. This is when he gave the free kick away. You can see he just slings wide out of the way. So he has that taken away from him. But then he gets the opportunity, and Simon White should know better than to allow him to have a run and jump like that. Uninterrupted, he'll mark that most of the time.
Well, Carlton aren't used to being in front, and get Walker off the bench and onto the ground.
They've pulled an extra back as we see Wood subbed out of the game.
So finally some fresh run for the Blues. Walker, who can't play, could be the difference. Buckley met head on, dragged down, a 29-point margin whittled down to 10.
Well, they can't afford Carlton here to go into their shells and try and save this game. They need to play the football that got them into this position. Otherwise, Port Adelaide will just run over the top of them here.
Port Adelaide are 14 minutes away from a weekend off. You wouldn't think they'd leave anything in the tank. Graham floats that up. Back with the flight Tringos. And they're taking them on.
Yeah.
Jarman Impey.
Oh, the big banana.
Cracker, Monfries, the chaos ball. Monfries, was he held? Cracker off the deck. It won't matter. There's a kick in it.
We're going to have a review. I think we'll have a review, Dwayne.
I believe it's a goal. I'd just like to check that it wasn't touched by Chris Young. Score review. Just want to see if it was touched off the boot.
So there has to be definitive evidence that Cracker's kick off the deck was touched for this to be overturned. Oh,
Yeah, that's fine.
it's a 4-point game.
And there's your answer, Roo. Why's Cracker up the forward line? He's kicked one and set up two of the last 4 goals in 9 minutes to reduce a 29-point margin at the 2.5-minute mark to just 4 points with plenty of time on the clock. 13 minutes left. What a game we've got on our hands here at the MCG. 3.5 quarters of football's being played, and it's down to the last 13 minutes. Here we go. Centre bounce, Carlton in front by 4 points. Port Adelaide playing for their season. The Blues playing for some credibility and some heart. And it's Hartland who gets it out of the centre. Gibbs gets the handball out wide. Doherty has to wait for it to sit. It bounce off his chest. He's in trouble. Moore scrambles for the ball. They go in hard. Calhoun was there. Curnow flicks it out. It comes out to the Irishman. Gets his kick out there, does Tui, and the mark has been taken by a bloke who's played a good game today in Graham. So Graham just holds up proceedings for a moment. Some tired legs out there now. Beautiful kick from Tui. Casbolton will just held it. Casbolton half forward. He's a thumping kick.
He's got Cruiser on Broadbent if he goes to him.
That's where he's going. Cruiser will have to beat a couple here. They've got players at the fall of the ball. There's a good knock over the line there by Homps.
And you
for a throw in.
You can see the Carlton number 1 out there as well, Andrew Walker, onto the ground, and he's gone forward. So Cameron Wood subbed out, Andrew Walker into the game.
Massive noise here at the G. Smallish crowd by comparison to when it's full, but boy, they've been giving it some volume. Through Rowe's hands. White caught, had Pryor, dumped by Archie.
Port Adelaide are really cranked up their physicality in this last quarter. Contested possessions at 22 to 12. They know their season's on the line, and they're playing accordingly here.
So from 29 down to 4 points down. Cripps, hands and knees. Nab rising star contender, and he's driving them. Murphy squeezes it inside 50. Hodge, the cut-off specialist, and off they run. Carlisle, Calhoun.
Good kick.
Jarman Impey, and Westhoff runs for him. Impey looks up, sees Westhoff, hits him lace out. Pittard's inside 50. He loads up longer. Schultz, Cracker, Schultz.
Free kick to Carlton against Schultz.
Carlton's free.
That's a really poor result. You've got Carlton under pressure. He can't afford to do that, Jay Schultz.
Great play by Boat there. He got on the mark so quickly, didn't he, Roo? He could have got a kick up the line. There was a couple of men on, but just Boat got there and made him go back and just held up play enough to force the throw in. No, he's kept there now. We'll get a throw in. So Boak's effort on the mark has resulted in the ball staying in the forward 50 or in the half-forward flank position for Port Adelaide. Yeah, it was an easy free kick, that one. Schultz just grabbed the arm. Throw in. The power cry goes up from the Port Adelaide supporters. Ollie Wines tries to get through. Lobey stands, ball up. So, 11 minutes exactly left in this game.
Cripps has had 4 clearances for Carlton in this last quarter.
Cruiser. Third man up was Archie. Got the hit. Picked up by Murphy, the Carlton captain. Just jabs it up the line. Good play. Punched away from Graham. It comes down to Wines, who thumps it inside 50 from behind. Cracker almost got it. White searching. Carazzo had to reach for it. Great play there by Wingard. Got it going again. Here's Hartman on the boundary line.
What a kick.
A beauty.
What a kick.
And Schultz to put Port Adelaide back in front.
They are all over him with the power, aren't they? They look full of running at the moment.
A lot of players would have blazed away from the boundary line. Hamish Hartler just threads the needle with a low dart. And this is the sort of kick that Jay Schultz considers his bread and butter. That's what he's made his name kicking these.
He picked the last one left.
In he comes. He kicks this one in the post, right side.
He thought he had it.
Oh, wow. What a miss.
Sitting right behind that one, Jason. Just wanted to bend left. It just didn't quite do it enough. But guys, Lobey's the one right now who's really dominating. That's where they're getting their game from the centre. He's had 14 hit-outs to advantage this game.
Casbolt, Yaron, Walker, the sub, the fresh man. Who is writing this script? Set up for a great last 10. Been a fantastic 3.5 quarters so far.
I'm not sure how the script ends at the moment either, Dwayne.
I had no idea.
So many different stories. The Blues post Malthouse, post Judd. John Barker at the helm. Can he resurrect the club? One of the iconic clubs of the competition. Bell, Graham, squeezes it down. Henderson, the man who may well have his contract with this performance.
How did he pay that from there? You couldn't tell, could you?
Well, I think the other umpire was going to pay it. The umpire down in the forward 50.
Yeah, but he didn't. The umpire from the middle paid it, didn't he?
Now it's a mark. They got it. What a kick this is. He's had a couple of shockers. Jace, his last 2 kicks at goal have been horrible.
He was right there, Holmes, wasn't he? I'd like to see that from a different angle.
Exactly,
that mark.
that's what I mean.
Very close to the ground. He's got to make the most of it, Lockie Henderson. He hasn't had a great day either. Kicked a couple, though.
The crowd want to go up. Blues fans haven't had a lot to cheer this year. Gee, they went up early there. He sticks the knife back in.
So all of a sudden, he starts to come into the game, Lockie Henderson. When Jack Holmes had his number early, he gets off the chain in the 3rd term when he's got Alapati Carlisle as an opponent. And now, even though Holmes was right there, he manages to kick another. Nick Graham's been impressive. Let's check from this angle, which is the perfect angle. You can't pay that. You cannot pay that.
Exactly. That's why the midfield umpire called that from a no-hope position, really. Watch the big-bodied midfielders here, boys. You need to win the stoppages in tight. Watch Bell, watch Wines, Cripps if he's in the middle.
So a bump ball goes the way of Carlton. They get the goal, and they're 2 kicks in front. Gibbs to Bell, who's been fantastic. Grubs the kick forward. Pittard's been great all day too. He took second one on. He's gone.
And that's that tackle again.
Menzel with intent, Jace. They've tackled hard all day. Players out wide. He decides to go up the middle. Armfield has it. Too far out to score.
They've kicked it about that 20-metre mark a couple of times today. There he goes again.
Yaron's kick. Up towards Casbolt. Fall of the ball. Oh, it's smothered off the boot. Mitchell's kick. Bell again just grubs it forward. Trashing through his Trengove. Gets the handle.
Oh, no.
Probably needed the kick. Now we'll get out. Archie on the left boot along the boundary line was on beauty. Got the kick going to Pittard. Pittard now looks up. Big contest this one. Up goes Schultz and takes the mark. They're running hard, Port Adelaide. They're running in waves. They're running in droves. Pittard keeps his feet. Now he goes to
happen right now.
Murphy's injured, boys. He's really struggling. Looks like he'll have to come off. He's on the other side of the ground, though. There'll be one man down.
Moore tries to break through. Broadbent. Travis Boak, the captain, gives it some air. Inspirational.
Well, he didn't exactly nail it, Travis Boak, but it doesn't matter. It went through as a torpedo. But how often does Travis Boak kick important goals? He does it all the time. Inspirational captain, 26 disposals, 2-goal one, and he has really led the charge in this comeback.
And he was in the middle of it. He was putting pressure on, and then he peels to the outside. And have a look at the snap. Couldn't have kicked it higher if he tried.
2.5-minute mark of this term. The Blues led by 29 points. They now lead by 3. Murphy in trouble. The Carlton captain comes to the bench. They've activated their emergency. So they're both a player down. Cripps has been magnificent. He gets it out again to Carrazzo. Here come Carlton. The ball bounces awkwardly. It's slapped on. Which way will it bounce? Trengove gets first go at it. Gives the handball away. Now they come around. Hobbs.
Good kick.
It's a beauty to Lobe over the top. They're full of running, Port Adelaide. Ebert's kick is a good one too. Out in front of Mitchell, he runs onto it. Lurking, as you can see, there is the skipper, the number 1 on his back. But getting across was Kerno to block it over the line and out of bounds. Both supporter groups are right into this game at the moment. Both coaches look calm, but they're churning up underneath, I can tell you. Throw in on the outer side. Lobe goes up against Cruiser. Cruiser gets the hit. Guess who again? Cripps has been magnificent. In the back, was it? No. Good tackle by Westhoff. Just turned him in time. Might get the free here. No umpire says bounce.
Cripps is up to a game-high 29 disposals and 11 tackles. 10 clearances for Cripps. This is a career-defining game, I would have thought.
Mitchell gets it out to Lobe. Travis Boak. It's a 3-point game. Dragged down. Phenomenal ball.
Josh, you've been talking about the tackles all day.
He's done a couple of them. With Graham too.
Tackling's a reflection of mindset, boys. You don't get stronger. You don't get better techniques overnight. You just want to lay the tackle more.
Graham White. Walker. Can't take the mark. Carrazzo the crumb. Bryce Gibbs. Close to the boundary.
Guys, Mark Murphy down here. He's on the bike at the moment. He's got that left knee heavily strapped. He's been running around the boundary line with a massive leap. Really struggling at the moment, trying to get that knee warmed up again.
They'll need him for the last few moments. Inside 6 minutes left in this game. Plenty of time yet. Casbolt from behind gets the tap. Lobe has been tireless in his efforts today. Archie is in there as well. Gets the little handball going. They just shin it forward. Port Adelaide getting back now is White for Carlton on the boundary line. Good Shepherd. He gets the kick up the wing position. Carlton fans screaming for a free kick to Walker, but Archie starting to play into the game now with the fresh legs. Here comes Port Adelaide now. The handball to Impey. Impey looks up. Bombs it long. Inside 50, Monfries is the man there. Simpson used his body well. They've got the numbers, Carlton. Little handball there. And Yaron gets it back. Good play. Here come the Blues now up at half-forward full position. Everett gets a bad bounce. Hard at it, though, was Ebert. The ball spills to Impey. Now comes to Monfries. Back to Impey from 50 metres out. Impey sets it up beautifully. Looking for his captain. One hand out. Fights hard. Kerno's got it. Clearing kick, but it's going to come back. Broadbent's there. Picked up by Carrazzo. Gets the handball back for Kerno. He's still in trouble.
Bounces it outside 50. This game's left in another gear. In the last 5 minutes, and we thought it couldn't possibly. The crowd rise. Casbolt. Buckley gives it off. Cripps.
He goes all the way. They should be leading away from him.
And he shorts it to Walker. The sub now on.
Oh, numbers in the corridor. He's got to use them.
Goes inside.
I thought we were going to have to sub Eddie off there for a minute. You're right, Eddie.
I was about to say, where Walker took the mark was a good result for Port because it would have been a tough kick. They were outnumbered, they were undermanned, but now they've got the ball back in the corridor, the Blues, and this is a massive kick for Andreas Everett.
Just great old-fashioned footy. There's both these teams. You can't help but get excited coming to the footy when you see two teams going at it like this. It's wonderful.
Saturday afternoon at the MCG, the home of football. Port Adelaide have not led at all in the second half. They've been the canvas all afternoon. And Everett had a chance to put his foot right on their throat. 3:52 left.
No ET pointer on that one. Calhoun.
We're going to see things happen in the last few minutes because on that occasion then the reason Carlton had so many numbers, Port rolled the dice. They just took everyone forward. They're all going to bolt forward.
4 points the difference. The famed fitness of Port Adelaide. How will it stand up? Mitchell's got it at half-back. He's turned this one over. Simpson, just the man to be in the way to Cripps again. Beautiful handball. Carazzo from Bell. In it goes. Can they get a mark here? Bounces. Armfield fights for it. Coming through hard. Good play there from Jonas. Not panicking yet. Thompson's kick is a good one. Plenty of white jumpers there. And one of them is Mitchell. Flicks it over the top there. Fuller run. Pittard.
I know.
Gone. What a tackle from Doherty.
He got blindsided there, but he had so much time. He just needed to move it on.
Inside 3 minutes. Are they going to play for time or try and get one more? They're playing for time at the moment.
No.
Too long to go here, boys. Simpson and Murphy combining. Now Simpson has it.
Menzel forward. This is where they haven't got the experience of being in front.
Cripps is the man here. He's underneath it. They've kicked it to him. Up he goes. Casbolt came over the top of the pack. Mitchell again. Now Boak. Oh, what a player he's been today. The handball comes out to Wines and now Impey.
This will test them, Roo.
No, they've been stuffed up there, Carlton. They had to move the ball.
Long kick. Schultz hunts it down. Pocket. Hunted down by White. Ball in.
This is the problem.
Simpson.
Carlton haven't been in a position to close out a game for a long time, Roo.
He can't save it from that far away when you've got so much space.
What about the job that Johnny Barker's done over the last 3 weeks? Been magnificent.
He hasn't put his name up to be the coach, but I tell you what, he's coaching like a bloke who belongs.
One kick in at Ollie Wines. Can't reach it. The second's ticked down. Travis Boak, the captain. He's been inspirational. And Bell throws him over the line.
Tell you what, he's done very well, Johnny Barker, for a bloke that played at Fitzroy the first few years under an apparently different name. I reckon for the first 3 years, Paul Roos thought his name was Johnny Parker.
Two Fitzroy boys coaching here, head-to-head. Hinkley v. Barker. Ball back into play. Scramble.
This could be a long 2 minutes, boys, if they have stoppages.
It reminded me yesterday, John Barker, when I was chatting to him, that I once referred to him as the biggest thing to come out of Pasco Vale since Guido Hatzis. From the ball up, Wines looking for the free, wasn't there. Good umpiring. Umpires have been great in this last quarter under enormous pressure.
Took the
That
legs
was a
out.
free kick for a leg. Just as I said it, they didn't pay it. Menzel's in there, but they swallowed the whistle, and that's what we like. They all dive in on top, pull it up.
Great contest.
Good contest, good umpiring. Let it go. A minute 34 to go, Jace. Who wins?
Well, Port have kicked 5 goals from forward 50 stoppages today, and that's where they are right now, and they need another one.
4 points the margin. The crowd is screaming.
So pressure on the players, pressure on the umpires. A mistake now can cost the game.
We had a lot of talk about Paul Roos and Melbourne with his coaching in the last final minutes to save the game. Is there anything you see at the moment, Jason? Does the Carlton forwards have to come back and make it even more clogged up?
Well, I think they've got the right numbers back. Now we get into the last minute and a half. They've got to keep it in tight.
Ollie Wines, German Impey.
Shanked it. Still dangerous.
Angus Monfries. Ebert pops it to the pocket.
Oh, boy.
Biggest moment of Calhoun's career. Right here, right
They're
now.
saying touched off the boot.
Oh, he's not going to be allowed to have the kick.
Ball up.
It's going to be a ball up.
Oh!
Is that a good view? Obviously, he's called it tough from down there. Right up the break. Right, ball up. Ball up.
There was touch there, but you know what? Once the umpire paid the mark, it used to stand.
So I think the other umpire had called touched, and the umpire paying the mark didn't hear it.
Yeah.
From the flick down. It just hasn't gone Port Adelaide's way all season. And their whole season wrapped up in that 15 seconds there.
So this is where the Blues have to get all their numbers around the stoppage, a couple back deep.
I reckon they need a
quick kick.
back, a spare back. Too many around the stoppage
They can't let the ball out.
for this reason.
Travis Boak caught by Menzel.
There's a throw.
Another great tackle from Menzel.
All right, the clock is ticking now. It stops at 53 seconds. Carlton playing for their first win in Australia this seconds. There's time for either team to kick a goal, but there hasn't been one kick for 10 minutes.
Got to go third man up, Port.
Throw in, Casbolt brings it down. Graham goes to the boundary line, over it goes. They get possession with 25 seconds on the clock. They've got to roll the dice. So Ebert goes for it up the centre of the ground. They've got numbers. They're out, Carlton, at the Port Adelaide side. It comes out to Mitchell. Mitchell inside 50.
Who's the kicking to?
Doherty's got it. Carlton are going to win. Carlton are going to win at the MCG. Life has been breathed into this team that was moribund in season 2015. John Barker almost had an improbable win against Adelaide. And a week after the bye, it's Carlton who win at the MCG by 4 points. John Barker, stand up, son. You're a Carlton coach with a victory next to your name. And Port Adelaide with hands on heads think, what has happened to season 2015? 27,693 fans here are singing this song for the first time on home soil in 2015. To Rue and to Dwayne Russell to explain where they are at the moment. Well, what we can tell you is they're now 3 games and a large chunk of percentage and a game against from the top 4.